You thought we was done. You thought these storms could get your boy off here. No. We got it back up again. G. Bush is in the building with the barbershop. Tyvis Powell is in the building. Tyvis, you was ready to go at 9 o'clock this morning. I called you. I had to show you the receipts. I said, bro, it's dark in here. We ain't got it. And you know how it is. Your wife was like, listen, no, we gonna go do something. If you ain't gonna be around here playing around.
I was sitting here. G hit me at about 8:55. Hit me up like, hey, my power went off, and I'm like, I look at my wife. Well, you better come on in the next 5 minutes.
Man,
listen, he was like, I'm gonna call you. Did he call? He FaceTimes me. Takes me around the house like, look, I ain't got no lights. I ain't got no power. And I was like, oh, man.
You have to get the receipts on that because cats will be looking at you crazy. You know how black folks is. Like, come on, dog, G. Bush wilding out. This dude called me at 8:57, talking about his lights off. I ain't see it. Ain't no thunderstorms. He live in Columbus. So ain't no thunderstorms in his area. He got the Doppler 5 radar out.
Soon as you said it, I looked right outside. I'm like, it looked pretty good out here, so I don't know what he's talking about.
But we gonna get right to it. We ain't gonna play with y'all, man. Let's get right to it. We're gonna get into this episode right here on the barbershop. We got Tyvis Powell. We're gonna talk about everything in OTAs. We're gonna talk about, is y'all really knowing what's going on in the league? And we got a game that we're gonna play, a fun interactive game that y'all gonna love. We'll come back and do it all right here on this episode of the barbershop.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.
Oh, we right back like we never left. G. Bush in the building. We got a special guest in the building. Tyvis Powell. I would give all of your titles, but you got to do that because you got more jobs than me. So shout out to you. You are new.
Not true. That's not true.
Hey, you got to tell the audience what you're doing now in Columbus. Big things. You 5 days a week. Talk to them.
Yeah, so I got a new morning show, the morning drive, 6 to 9, 97.1 The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis, Monday through Fridays. We've been going for, this is week 3 that we just finished up. So yeah, if you want to hear me in Columbus, check that out, or you can download the 97.1 The Fan app and you can stream it right from there. Also, I do the Browns pre and post game show during the football season. Mm-hmm. And I do the Big Ten Network also on Saturdays, the tailgate show. You can check that out when football season starts, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings.
Yeah, see, you thought I was playing around. I got to bring the cats with the accolades because when I bring the receipts, they don't want to listen to what G. Bush be saying. Like, they don't want to. So we had to get somebody to be in them locker rooms that used to, actually, you played for the Browns for a couple seconds, didn't you?
A little cup of tea, a little there for a cup of tea, a little OTA action. You know what I'm saying? Problem is, I gained too much. Let me explain something. People need to know this. People need to know this. So, no, this is serious. I got to clear this up. So I had got cut from Seattle in the playoffs. They needed a returner. They ended up signing Devin Hester. They cut me for Devin Hester. I have no problem with that. Devin Hester's a Hall of Famer. What am I supposed to say to the guy? So
let's move.
Yeah. So I get claimed by the Cleveland Browns. Now it don't become official until after the Super Bowl. Boom, I go to Cleveland. Cleveland Browns tell me, hey, you got this risk that, you do your little physical and stuff and they do your scans. And when I was in college, I broke my wrist and I got this screw in my wrist. You see the little scar right there? I had a screw in my wrist. So the Browns was like, the screw is sticking out and it's tearing the cartilages in your wrist. So we need to get you surgery right away to get that taken out. I said, all right, you know what? I'll play for y'all. Y'all, that's what y'all want me to do? Boom, I do it. So I do that for 6 weeks. I couldn't do anything. There was no exercise and no nothing. So I couldn't do anything. So I gained weight. I went from 215 to 230. And it was like the craziest thing. So you got to think, when they first seen me and I stepped on the scale, I was 215. Coming back, checking in for OTAs, I was 230. And they looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, bro, I can't work out. Like, y'all literally told me I couldn't work out. So anyways, I was slow.
3 positions, bro.
I was slow. I wasn't as fast as I was. So like, that was a problem for me. So that's why I didn't look as good as I could look, because I wasn't at my weight. It wasn't until right after I left the Browns that I got myself back down to 215, 212. So yeah, it was a little bit too late. So that's why I didn't last with the Browns.
Hey man, you had the outside. You went from corner. You skipped all the way over safety. You was a corner and then went to safety, and then it wasn't even free. It was strong. They had you a box safety. You was box safety, and then he was outside linebacker. You started rushing the passer, dog, at 230.
Man, the crazy thing is, I could have did it. I probably would have had a lot of energy there. You know what I'm saying? I had to hit it with my best move. You know, you got to flip the hips. You got to get around and flip the hips and go ahead and shut the door on them.
Hey, we gonna get into a lot of different things in this show. I see in the chat they say, "Hey, G. Bush, Mary Kay, we thought Mary Kay got you up out of here." shout out to Mary Kay. Like, nah, man, shit, but come on, man. Him, Grossy, King Carmine, they can't get me up out of here. What are you talking about? It's the barbershop. We talk spicy over here. We invite them to come over and talk spicy, but we'll get to that. Tyvis, let's dive into this thing, man. Because how I've been setting it up over here is I'm confused why there's a level of conflicting report on these quarterbacks. You got some people that say these quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders is at number 4 or 5 on the depth chart. They done threw Deshaun Watson over him, and he ain't even back yet. Then you got some people saying Dillon Gabriel's the best thing since sliced bread. And he throwing the ball through like he's the shorter version of Tua. That's what they telling me. And then they telling me Kenny Pickett, which I didn't understand when I got her. Kenny Pickett was the deal. Now, before we get into the clips, we gonna set these up. I mean, for you, sir, why is it so? Why is it all over the spectrum that you could turn one outlet on and they say Shedeur looked like the best dude in the camp? And then you turn another outlet on and say, bro, his balls was wobbly. They didn't catch no. What's going on? Have you ever heard such conflicting stories about all 4 quarterbacks ever?
First of all, no, I have not. But I think what happens in this situation is some people are confused by what they're seeing. You know, like, you know, if for example, let's say Shedeur is doing well with the 3s, you know, but then you see like Dillon Gabriel get reps with the 1s and it don't look bad or it don't look great. People are like, well, Dillon Gabriel had a bad day. Well, it's like, all right, if he probably did it against the 2s or the 3s, maybe it wouldn't have been like that. So that's one reason. Also, another way is some people just don't know what they're looking at. You know, it's a lot that goes into the quarterback position. Like, are you saying that he's commanding the huddle? Are you saying that he's throwing the ball on time? Are you saying he's not making bad decisions? Like, what are you talking about? What makes him so much better than the other? Because, you know, a couple of people that I listen to and I trust, they all say that Joe Flacco, hands down, is the best quarterback for the Cleveland Browns right now. It's not even close. And then they say that actually Shedeur does a really good job of getting the ball out of his hands. They say Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel struggle. So it's interesting to me that the Browns put themselves in a situation where it's like it's almost kind of like, you know, they're playing it to the part where like nobody knows who's going to be the starter, and we could put out all these different reports, but it's like somebody has to know the real truth. So it's up to you and me, G. We got to get credentialed, and we got to go check camp out, check OTAs out, and tell them exactly what it is, because this is sad that we got all these different people saying that this quarterback's good, that quarterback's not. Then you talk to Zach Jackson, tells me that Dillon Gabriel is not great. Kenny's not great. He said if Kenny Pickett starts, I think he said something like, if Kenny Pickett starts, the Browns are saying that they're tanking. That's how bad he looks. So I don't know who to believe. I got to see it for myself.
And I always said, listen, I've been telling 92.3 The Fan. I've been telling UCSS, Ultimate Brown, wherever I'm at. I told him, I said, I do a show on the Bleacher Report. And I said, listen, man, I feel bad about bringing y'all this information because a couple of weeks ago, somebody brought some information to the table that was patently false. I can't do that. It was patently false. These numbers were skewed, and you wonder why we had to bring them. Don't act like you didn't. People be. I did a show the other day. I said, y'all be gaslighting. You act like you don't know why we had to bring them numbers to the table. Tyvis, you know why the numbers had to be bought. Somebody told somebody. They said, man, you know, I had them 19 to 16. You're like, whoa, that's an improper fraction, homie.
Well, the thing is, we asked Jason Lloyd and Zach Jackson about it because Zach came on the Cleveland show on Thursday, and he was saying, he said, I don't know how they got them numbers because all the reports said it was 2 fields going on at one time. So that's the part that gets me. That's why, like, I don't know how people are sitting there saying like definitively that this person was better than that, because if Kenny Pickett and Joe's going at the same time, it's not like you got 4 sets of eyes that can see both, or you got that you could cross-eye yourself and see both sides. So like, did you see it? So the reps that you saw of him that you actually paid attention to, was that just the part that was bad? Because if you probably ask these coaches, they'll say, no, they did exactly what we wanted them to do. They went where they went with the ball. It was good decision making and things like that. So to me, these reports is kind of inaccurate, because unless you got 4 sets of eyes, you're not looking at both fields go at the same time.
Unless y'all came up here with a whole team of you got. Now I don't know if your beat reporter got this. Yeah, I got four interns at each field. You're gonna watch Dylan. We gonna do all these numbers. We gonna at the same time. I want you to take film. I didn't even know you was recording and doing all that because of other stuff. But here's what we're gonna get to. You got to bring the receipts. Go to click conflicting reports, because here's the thing. I'm gonna play this clip right there. This is Jason Lloyd. This is courtesy of Infinity Network. He goes on in this clip and he says, bro, he was definitive. Like he's saying in this clip that he does not believe that Dylan Gabriel is a NFL quarterback. This is wild to me, because I had to say I didn't come to that conclusion on DTR until I seen him play in the games and all that. And I said DTR is in the UFL. He's in the XFL, Tyvis. He's not a regular. But this guy, listen, I give Zach Jackson credit. If they thought that G. Bush was definitive, no, Zach Jackson, he's on that Kool-Aid. He's not playing with people. Let's take a listen to this.
Throws the best ball. Everybody wants to see Shedeur. He's been impressed.
Let me drop a bomb on that. Let me bring that back. Hold on. Before I do that, hold on. Let me drop. Hold on. First of all, get all this moving stuff off the screen. You look like amateur, G. Bush. Come on, you're doing way too much. There you go. Boom. And this is courtesy of the Infinity Sports Network, by the way. Here we go.
Joe Flacco clearly has the strongest arm, throws the best ball. Everybody wants to see Shedeur. He's been impressive. You talk to people in the building, they say he's been impressive. He's only been in the building like 16 days at this point, right? So what this competition is, Zach, right now, for at least 2 more months and probably beyond that, it's 2 different competitions. It's Flacco versus Pickett for the starting job, and then it's the 2 rookies positioning themselves against one another, but really just in the scheme of things to be ready. And I'm telling you, like, I like what I see from Shedeur. I mean that. But I don't know that either one of these rookies will ever play, let alone this year. I don't know that they'll be ready. We just don't know at this early stage.
Wow. Like, that's never play for, like, I would be surprised if, I know that they're not going to keep all 4, but if we don't see at least 3 quarterbacks play this year.
Well, sure. But I mean, Dylan Gabriel does not look like an NFL quarterback to me, like 0%. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Now, listen, that's the strongest statement I've seen thus far. Like we listen, like we talk about the Shedeur thing where people say he a 5th round pick, but Tyvis, I've never listen, that 0%, that's very strong Kool-Aid, bro. That's very strong sauce.
First of all, Zach out of line, man. He out of line. I love the fact that he's drawing his line in the sand and he's just saying what it is. And you and I respect Zach's opinion, because Zach is a straight shooter for people that don't know Zach. He tell it like it is. And all the other beat reporters might put a little sugar on it. Zach is a straight shooter. So I appreciate him. But if he's saying this, I have to take him at face value. I mean, now, we got to be clear on this part, G. This is the part that we can't, overlook. They seen one practice.
Right.
Okay? It was only one practice when Zach was making this announcement, So nobody really comes out day one of practice, especially as a rookie, and just tears it up. You do that stuff in college for sure. It's people. Joey Bosa. I've seen it before. Where day one on the yard, these dudes just look like they ready. In the NFL, it's a totally different game. It's a different speed and stuff like that. You got to get adjusted to. So I'm not willing to say that Dillon Gabriel is not going to be a good quarterback. I don't know that yet. I have to see how. As I told everybody, you really can't make the decision on these guys until if you want to know how a person's going to be. Wait till them joint practices come out and wait to hear the stories out of them joint practices because
and them ain't televised.
That's
what it televised.
No, you have to make sure you paying attention to these beat reporters when you see that because quiet as it's kept, last year when they did the joint practice with was it Philly? I think it was Philly. Where that's when they was like, Deshaun can't even complete a pass. Our offensive line can't block nobody. He can't even get the ball down. We heard that. So it was
Zach said that.
No, you know what? It was the Vikings. Excuse me, it was the Vikings because that's when Martin Emerson was going up against.
I remember that.
So correct myself. It was the Vikings. But it was at that moment that we should have been like, if they're saying this, there is no hiding it. There is no vanilla playbook. No, you're running the things that you actually want to run when the season comes around. So like I said, when it comes to these quarterbacks, I'm trying to save my judgment until I get to those joint practices to hear what they say. Because they have two teams that they're going. What is it, Carolina, and I think it's Philly. I think those are the two teams. So if we hear those reports that Dillon Gabriel don't look like an NFL quarterback after that, then that's probably pretty true.
All right, here we go. Let's continue to keep it pushing. Let's see what else. But he came in out swinging.
So why do they love Gabriel so much?
Well, they fell in love with the intangibles, right? But they have an analytic charting project that they have followed in the past, and they loved him. And so, they were more than willing to admit, like, yes, you saw us in Mississippi at Jackson Dart's thing. Yes, we've done the thing, but they kind of snuck in a trip to Oregon on their way to the highly publicized pro day at Colorado. And Gabriel was, fairly impressive at the Senior Bowl. Andrew Berry and Stefanski were there on the sideline watching every throw. He just flew under the radar, right? And then I just don't think any other team was taking him in the top 100 or probably the top 150. If I'm wrong and the Cleveland Browns have their quarterback, that'd be great. One of these years I would love to cover a normal franchise and a rookie quarterback that sticks around for more than 6 to 18 months. But if it's Dillon Gabriel, I will be beyond shocked.
Hey, listen, he that was courtesy of Infinity Sports Network. Now, look, we talking about the situation with, we talked about how the coverage is different. Like each individual quarterback that we see has this thing where one person says, now, if you listen to Mary Kay, if you listen to Tony Grossi, those individuals love Dillon Gabriel. Thought he threw the ball way better than Shedeur. Thought that he was a guy that was out there putting the ball on the money. Thought he commanded the huddle better. But then you hear Zach Jackson, and it's like, well, he's saying 0%. There has to be a 50-50 somewhere. Can't we all just get in the middle and just say, okay, to me, Tyvis, I think, look, I think sometimes, see, I'm the one of the people that's an emotional one. I think sometimes people
the Duke of knee-jerk? You don't say. I'm shocked.
This guy. I think sometimes we put our money down on who we betting on, and we roll with it. Like we may roll with it because you identify Dillon Gabriel's undersized. He looks like an underdog, a guy that a lot of people wouldn't have picked, so people get behind him. You already know what Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders got a crazy story. Like he's going from number 2 to number 5th round pick. Joe Flacco got a story. Hey, I'm the old golden retriever vet that then left out for dead, and I can still throw the football. And Kenny Pickett, he's a former 1st round pick. He got drafted by the rivals, kicked around, and had to sit behind a person in Philadelphia and watch him win the Super Bowl. And you got all these 4 stories, and I think people are just picking a story. Do you think people have, and especially fans and even some media, is like, I can identify with that. I like that.
Yes. There's definitely biases. There's always guys that people in the media, they're going to hear their stories and hear their journey, and they're going to side with them, and they're going to root for them. And it's going to be hard to say the truth or what's obvious. If the guy isn't doing well, they're not going to just bluntly say, yeah, he's terrible. They're going to say, you know what, he struggled today, but I did see some good things out of there, so there's potential there. So that's what it is. I mean, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, look at it. If he can't command the huddle, and the thing about this NFL thing, where it all comes to light, it always comes back to the arm talent. And I know there's people who don't understand what that arm talent mean. They think, throwing the ball deep 50 yards on a rope or something like that. That's not exactly what I mean when I'm talking about arm talent. When I say that a quarterback has arm talent, it's about a quarterback that can hit a dig route 18 yards down the middle of the field between a safety and a linebacker that's dropping. That, if he can fit that ball, that's considered arm talent to me. Those tougher throws to fit through the window. And Dillon Gabriel, I'm not saying his arm is weak, but it's not like he had the strongest arm. But what I did like about him in college is that he knew the timing of it. He knew that I'm gonna take this drop. I know my receiver. I'm gonna throw this ball in this spot, and by the time that receiver comes out his break, that ball should be right there. And I think for him, that's why he was able to succeed. And it's obviously in the NFL, everybody's really good. These DBs is really strappy. You're gonna have to fit it in the tight window. And I don't know if he has the ability to do that consistently enough. So that to me is the part that I worry about. And that's the same thing that they said about Shedeur as well. So I'm not letting him off with a pass either. That's another thing. They said that Shedeur's arm wasn't that strong. You see some of those fade balls. If you go watch a Travis Hunter highlight tape, some of them balls he stopped and had to come back too. He had the guy beat, but he had to stop and adjust himself to make the play. So it's not like Shedeur just got this thing in the bag either. Both of those guys have to work on those things, to which is why I say Joe Flacco is probably the easiest answer to this, because as far as everybody that I've heard, they said Joe Flacco's arm still looks really good. And if that's the case, you need to roll with that.
I told people before, I said, listen, Joe Flacco, he got a rare God-given gift with his arm, right? I think, I said, unless his arm falls off, that's why I was confused why people is talking about Kenny Pickett. To me, the Kenny Pickett thing never made no sense. We'll dive deeper into that as we continue to go. It never made no sense to me. I just didn't understand it.
You know exactly why they did that. I don't know why you acted like you. You don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You know why. They like Sam Darnold is why. That's why. Geno Smith is why. It's the new fad right now. You take a guy. You take a guy that was a former first-round pick. Probably bring him into your system and be like, you know what? The talent is there because he graded as a first-round talent. Maybe I can break the game down to him that he would understand it a little bit better, because that's what Sam Darnold said. Sam Darnold said he got to San Francisco. He talked to Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan said things to him that he never knew about the quarterback position. It made the game just clear to him, and it allowed him to go out there and excel at that level. Kevin O'Connell is also a really good quarterbacks coach as well. I mean, all the young guys really gravitate to this man. And allegedly,
Sound good.
Kevin Stefanski is supposed to be there. So that's why they doing it. I'm telling you.
I also seen the illegitimate stat sheet too. That 9-16, no touchdowns. Allegedly, he's supposed to be a quarterback guru. Allegedly. We go, hey, P. Rothstein, we appreciate the super chat. Okay, we got Tyvis in the barbershop. Keep exposing that nonsensical hate for Sanders. If Sanders would have struggled in OTAs, that would have been a major headline on every local media station. And keep cooking.
Wait a minute. Deion Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders have two different. Deion Gabriel ain't the son of a Hall of Famer either. So like Shedeur was gonna get good, bad, or indifferent. They're gonna report on Shedeur regardless. Now it's good that there's nothing negative that they're saying about Shedeur right now. That's the best part about all this. But if Deion Gabriel, if they would switch and Deion was Dillon's father, he would be getting this treatment too.
I mean, that'd be crazy work if Deion was Deion Gabriel's father. He was like, yo, he had a Hawaiian. You know what I'm saying? Y'all he was out here cooking, man.
Hey, he get around. What Tupac say? I get around.
Boy, Coach Prime. Paul, the true believer, appreciate it, bro. What are you talking about? He already throwing interceptions in jerseys and shorts. It's gonna be worse when he puts some pads on.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, okay, so they said if you looked at I think ESPN Cleveland put the little stats out of the first day OTAs, and it said that Deion Gabriel had an interception. And That's what it said. It said that Dylan Gabriel threw a pick that day.
Yeah, he threw a
So we asked Zach and Jason about it, and what happened was the ball got batted down, it bounced up, and the dude scooped it, and they called it a pick. So he technically did not throw the pick that day. So that was wrong.
Mason Graham got some hands
that's
on
what
that.
I'm saying. It gets lost in the shuffle because you got two different fields going on at one time, and all you probably seen was, oh, this dude's running with the football down the other way, so he probably threw a pick.
Do you think this though? Too, here's another thing too. I think will be happening, Tyvis. James Crosby, we appreciate you. You listen. Next time, if you're gonna donate like that, just say anything. Just put something in there. Just say whatever. I'm gonna give you a billboard. You can just say, "Hi, Mom." Just you want to send out a shout out to your kids somewhere. You keep balling out. We'll put anything you want on the board at that rate, man. But we appreciate you. Let's get to this one too, because it's gonna transition me right into what we want to get to. We want to transition. Practice makes perfect. Practice matters. So you can see who's learned in the classroom. Drop passes, interceptions, they all matter. And later. And Tyvis, I use this on UCSS because we need to talk about this. Because one of the things that we get to all the time is I don't like that you use practice to disqualify somebody's merits, but then in the same breath tell me that practice counts. This week, the story was Myles Garrett was in Japan at Comic-Con, hanging out doing what he doing over there.
He got an alleged new boo. Allegedly now.
Allegedly. Listen, shout out to him. I would rather be over there with the new thing, new moves than putting my hand in the dirt here either. But my thing is, how is it that we can sit here and say that Myles Garrett needs to be there at practice? He needs to just be showing his face. The owner said when we gave you a new contract, we need to be doing all that. But then again say, in the next breath, oh, it's just practice. Shedeur was supposed to be doing that. I mean, why we getting excited about somebody throwing the football, catching touchdown passes with no pass rush or whatever? This is ridiculous. Why are we doing this? But at the same breath, though, it's been important for Myles Garrett to be here.
Well, you know why. You know why that is. The reason being, Myles Garrett, this is year 9 for him coming up in the season to oppose to Shedeur's rookie season. So therefore, you got an 8-year sample size of what Myles Garrett is probably going to be. You know, nothing's changed defensively. They got the same defensive coordinator, darn near the same D-line. They're probably running the same scheme. Myles knows it like the back of his hand. He doesn't need to be there. But a quarterback like Shedeur, who's a rookie, yeah, he needs to be there. He got to learn. He's got to adjust the speed of the game and all those things. And you're going up against a defense who need to get back to being a dominant defense. Obviously, if he's with the threes, that's not the case. But once he works his way up with the ones, he's able to make those plays and, thread the needle on some of them balls down the field. Then you're more confident going into the season that this guy can do this against another NFL defense.
See, well, this transition. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for that super chat. We're gonna it's segues, right? 2,000 people in here, wherever you at. We streaming live on Facebook, UCSS, the barbershop, and on Twitter. Make sure you like and share. Stop playing around. The barbershop is moving. Tyvis Powell is in the building. Browns Radio Network, Big Ten Network. 97. What is 97.1?
Correct. 97.1 The Fan. Hold on,
Blazing hip hop and R&B, the new 97. No.
I'm a company man.
Hey, listen, babe, you slipping. Next time, you make sure you have my hats ready like Tyvis is. His wife got him together. She was seamlessly. I think she just threw that in there. I'm just playing. You good? Listen, let's get to this one, man. This is what people want to see. This is the thing I'm talking about. And I know people want to build people like the Shedeur Sanders fan base to be crazy. Like they are the new beehive. Like if you I try to tell people,
see you aunties.
They not an uncle. No, I can't just say the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, the next door neighbors, the grandmothers. Listen, they're not playing around with y'all. I try to tell them it's different. I say, I try to get them together before they got in. I saw them coming. I said, look, Coach Prime said they coming, and they're here at the doorstep. Y'all not gonna be able to get that slander off. Y'all need to go
with a Louis bag,
with the Louis bag, all kind of Gucci and Louis. Now, here's why people try to act like they just moving around, being upset and trying to be zealots over Shedeur. But I always give them pushback, Tyvis. I say the reason why they are so vocal is because people be throwing this side shade that be so obvious. You can see it in their tone, the way they be looking. They just be, we got to talk about it. Why we talking about it? Let me show you this clip. I got a couple clips. Where the receipts at? Now, this is one clip. Watch the way they talk about this thing with Shedeur Sanders, and watch the very next clip in the way they deal with another rookie quarterback. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw this. This is courtesy.
This is so stupid.
This is courtesy of Breakfast Ball. This is my man Mark Schlereth on here. Check the way they talk, and it's not even really Schlereth. It's this man. It's not. I ain't got a problem with Schlereth. It's his guy. His homeboy on the left is out of pocket. Watch this.
This is so stupid.
Thank you.
This is so we get excited about OTAs. Like, what people don't understand is oftentimes in these OTAs, we will script success. Like, as an offense, we'll go, okay, we're going against our second team defense. Let's make sure that we script like a great route combination against a really tough, a defensive look that they're overmatched in. So sometimes you put these things together where it's not necessarily best on best. You want to see a certain thing, and you want it against a certain coverage. So you're going, hey, man, offensively, we're winning this drill today, right? Tomorrow, you get to win the drill. So those things happen all the time. So
now, Tyvis, what he is saying there is factual.
That's a fact.
Go ahead, tell us. So that's factual, right?
Yeah, they definitely, if it's ones on twos, they're trying to get a look and they're trying to see somebody drew up some type of route combination and they want to test it out and see if they can complete the pass. That's a fact. That does happen. And then vice versa. When it's the one defense versus the two offense, same thing happens. We want you to draw this up because we want to see if we can defend it, if we got the guys that can defend it and make the play. That's what he's saying is true.
This is why I bring them on here. You let G. Bush, all you did is play a little Mac school. That's the most Google thing. Did G. Bush ever play? Listen, I bring all these veterans in here so he can tell you more than I can tell you, right? So guess what? Here you go. That is correct. But watch his mans. His mans is out of pocket. The guy in the bottom right-hand corner, he just chilling. He said, listen, I know the CU aunties is watching. I don't want no part of this. I didn't already had smoke with them. But the guy on the left in the flannel must not understand. Watch the energy is crazy, Tyvis.
a 7-on-7 in these situations, scripted drills, to put any weight into this is just moronic.
But this is also why a lot of teams didn't want to draft them, because where's the Dylan Gabriel highlights? Where's the Kenny Pickett highlights? Where's the Joe Flacco highlights?
Whoa, sir. Whoa, sir. Whoa, you just came in spicy. Where's the Dylan Gabriel? So it got to be equal opportunity. This is why people push back so much, and then they try to act like he ain't being spicy. He's being very spicy there, Tyvis, is he not?
No, he is, but I understand what he's saying. We all understand that backup quarterbacks, you don't want your backup quarterback to have all that attention. And he's saying that when you draft Shedeur, of course, that's going to be the case because he's Deion's son.
Yes.
However, the thing is, and this is the part that's really bothering me, is that he works for he's on a TV show. What's going to help that TV show? Talking about the number one thing that people in the world want to know about. Shedeur Sanders. Don't nobody want to know about Don't nobody want to know about Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, or Dylan Gabriel. They want to know what Shedeur Sanders did, because there's so many people out there that's so mad at the fact that Shedeur was the number 2 quarterback coming out in the draft, and he went all the way in the 5th round. So they want to see, did that make him or break him? And that's why they're talking about this right now, because this is a popular opinion or popular topic that everybody wants to know of. That seeing that 7 for 9 for 3 touchdowns, everybody's like, "Oh man!" So the NFL was wrong. I mean, Shedeur is really in a situation right now where I'd say about 65 to 35. 65% of the world is rooting for Shedeur because they all felt he was wronged by what happened in the NFL draft. So this is something that everybody want to know. It's a popular thing.
This is why we cook on a barbershop. You're not going to get this nowhere else. if you want to go, if you really want to go to the radio, they're not gonna tell you none of that, bro. You can't even get this off.
They wouldn't even waste a set. First of all, the Cleveland Browns, as great as much as near and dear to our hearts as they are, they're not to the rest of the world. Nobody in the rest of the world cares about the Browns starting quarterback job. The only hot topic with the Cleveland Browns right now is Shedeur Sanders. And you have to cover those things. So
and you that's why I talk to people. I say, you local media dudes, maybe you listen. I was forced to cover the room for a living last year, and it was nasty work, Tyvis. You saw us week after week on the same show talk about the same old thing. But I'm gonna tell you what. Now, we got something to talk about because we're gonna find out. But watch him; he's still gonna be sassy. Let's keep going on.
Why is this a story? There's 4 other quarterbacks doing the same thing in a t-shirt and shorts, and I guarantee you they all look good.
All right. So listen, that's now listen. Because now listen, he didn't say nothing wrong right there. I guarantee there's other quarterbacks in a t-shirt and the shorts doing other things, and they all look good. But watch the energy level. Watch this. See, Tyvis just told you something. The Cleveland Browns, y'all must be thinking that y'all like they got love for you out there. They ain't got no love for you out there. They laugh at you, and you sitting around talking about why this is a bad thing. That's the only reason people talking about you. Watch the way this my guy right here. He gets you ever. It's just like when you was with high school, Tyvis, and you saw the one little girl that you used to like. And she walked by you and she'd be like, "Oh, you smell good today." You'd be like, "I'm gonna put deodorant on every day now." Watch how he perk up. Watch my man perk up right here. Here we go. Here we go. Let's set this up. Now, the stage is switched to the New York Football Giants. Now, let me just go ahead and just give y'all something. The New York Football Giants, I believe they drafted, what pick did they take? Where did they come in at?
They took, first of all, they took Abdul Carter with the 3rd pick. They traded back into the 1st round, which was 22 or something like that, to draft Jackson Dart, who's a first-round quarterback.
Now, I like Jackson Dart. I liked him. I like his skill set. But the Giants ain't no good either. The Browns picked number 2, and the Giants picked number 3. That means you were terrible last year. You ain't no good. Watch the way this man in the flannel, his energy is just over. It's exuberant. Look at the way he talk about it. These guys is, watch this. Now, mind you, it's all people in practice not doing nothing. They all look the same. This is ridiculous. But watch how he talks about Jackson Dart.
A little secret for you guys here. They love every single thing they've seen thus far out of Jackson Dart. And while the Giants getting off to a bad start is most likely going to happen, and the Giants having the toughest schedule in football is a fact.
Not so. The Cleveland Browns have one of the most toughest schedules. You just negated that. And you just started off with love. Everything that Jackson Dart has done. Now, mind you, I didn't know that the New York Football Giants had a different schedule where they played games already, and their rookie quarterback has gone out and improving and thrown the ball against starters and all the. Remember, you talked about all that good stuff about the inter-squad scrimmage. Did the Giants have those inter-squad scrimmages before? I was confused because right now he seemed to be loving all of the insignificant things that the Browns do too. What's going on with that?
What they on practice 1?
Practice one.
Yeah.
What do they love?
He out of line. That's what he is. He out of line right now.
The receipts.
What he's doing is he's showing his hate. Don't realize he's showing his hate. And that's something that a lot of people do. You know, like I guess you got tired of the Shedeur thing. You got tired of the wrist up thing. So you already formed your opinion of him, and you just don't care for him as a player. But Jackson Dart, you know, he's one of those guys that a lot of people was like, oh, you hear him at the Senior Bowl. Oh, he's such a leader. Oh, he's doing this and that. Oh, yes, this guy is going to be good.
Because he spelled his name with an X? Yeah. Jackson Dart, would you like that? You like his long flowing locks?
So really what it is, like I said, this dude personally, he personally has already checked out on Shedeur. And that's why he's acting the way he's acting. But for Jackson Dart, he believes that there is something there because he was taken in the 1st round. So you have to think that these guys potentially got it right. So
But-
that
but-
to me is where that energy is coming from.
But what about Russell Wilson? What
They
about
seen Russell.
What about Jameis Winston? I'm sure that these guys are all at practice doing the same thing, and they all look fine, right? See, it's
Well,
so easy.
actually, they said that Jameis looked terrible.
He did throw like 6 picks. He threw like 6 picks. Yeah, we've seen that before here. You might be right about that. And we'll continue on. Let's keep it
Well,
moving.
no secret for you guys here. They love every single thing they've seen thus far out of Jackson Dart. And while the Giants getting off to a bad start is most likely going to happen, and the Giants having the toughest schedule in football is a fact, you are going to see the future for the New York Giants right around Columbus Day, if not Thanksgiving, this year. Jackson Dart is going to be their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you press me on it and say, okay, Big Mouth, which game?
You're going, I know exactly.
This man done pulled out the schedule.
They did.
This man pulled the schedule out and said, Big Mouth, what day? This man just really pulled out the schedule on 2 days of OTAs, but I'm supposed to be in a cult because Shedeur Sanders went 7-9 with 3 touchdowns. We're in a cult.
Yeah, he lost his mind. That's crazy because this the same day. I wonder how like different the segments was. Like, did he do the Brown segment? Did jump to this? Because he should have been like, "Man, I'm tripping."
His man on the bottom right still ain't said nothing. The guy with the suit that's too big, he ain't said nothing. He's like, "Listen." Yeah, they see. He already. Mark Slayer just keeps sipping that coffee, like, bro, you out of pocket.
That's where you're going, and I disagree. You're going to go week 5.
Week 5? No, I'm not going to start a rookie against Philly, San Fran, Green Bay, and Detroit. That'd be stupid. I think I start him against New England.
No.
I think week 13, Jackson Dart takes over the helm.
Go ahead. No, okay, it's week 1, and I'm going to show you video evidence. Go back to the video of Russ. Here's video evidence of why it's going to be week 1, okay? Here he is, handing the ball off. I get it, right? We've got a little 7-on-7 drill, right? No offensive line. Keep this video playing. Yeah. I'm just going to show you something.
Go ahead.
And this is why Jackson Dart will become the starter with the New York Giants. Okay, let it continue to roll. Get through. Here we go. All right, the video's still going. This is not what I want to see, but it's coming up. I guarantee you. Here it comes. Okay, here it comes. I know there's only 20 seconds left, but this is the point. Okay, 7-on-7, no offensive line, no defensive line, right? Throw the ball. Yo, you're going to scramble on a 7-on-7 drill? No, that's not how it works. We don't scramble on 7-on-7.
I thought, Mark Slayer, you just said that they scripted things.
Yeah, they script things for success of the offense.
But what if that was a play where they scripted something for the defense to win that rep? Would that just?
Well, they wouldn't do that because Russell is with the ones, so they should be probably going against the
twos.
Yeah,
really, you picked that?
I mean,
that's what he saw. That's what he seen.
That's hey, listen. Russ on the decline right now. Russ on the decline.
Listen. Here's the great thing about this, Tyvis, is because this is my job. Listen. Here's one thing that you always say that I love. When you say, "I ain't in the media," but now you got too many jobs. You really can't even say that.
I'm not. But I ain't no media member.
But you say that, but it comes from a place of you identify with the game as a player.
Yes.
And so one of the things is like players, you guys see it from a perspective where it's a little bit different. And say, you guys are missing the point. You guys are missing the point a lot about this.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was talking about something the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco was talking about something. And he said, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna tell you what he said. Let's talk about what he said and we'll get into this. Right? Let's talk about what he said after we listen to this. This is courtesy of 92.3 The Fan.
Talking point, you can kind of like use it like because it's a good question to bait somebody into answering. It's a talking point. You can kind of like use it like because it's a good question to bait somebody into answering, and no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. If I
So let me set this up because I did a really poor job of explaining what he's going to talk about. Joe Flacco was asked, and he's been asked this question on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show and a lot of different other places. Going back to after he led the Browns to the playoffs and they lost to the Texans, Joe Flacco was a free agent. Joe Flacco was never offered a contract by the Cleveland Browns because the Browns were scared that there would be a little bit of friction between Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco, because Joe Flacco said, and he always holds this, he's been clear about this. Hey, listen, I'm a good teammate, and helping out rookies and helping young people is that's part of being a good teammate. But at the end of the day, I'm not a mentor. I'm out here to play, win football games, and try to get to the highest level. So again, Joe Flacco comes back. He was brought back in for a 1-year deal, and the media asked him again, hey, Joe, what about this mentorship thing? And then he goes on to talk about his mentality in terms of mentorship, being a good teammate, and what his outlook is on the whole process.
say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. So it's one of those questions that no matter what I say, you guys can write what you want to write about it. And there's a lot of questions like that. That's why you end up having to try to avoid them. I tend to try to be honest. And I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. And in a quarterback room, there's a lot of times there's been a ton of times where there's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily like my job to like make sure they listen to me. And hey, like hopefully you have a really good relationship with the guys that are in the room, and you naturally want to do that, but that was a long-winded answer, but that's ultimately why I think you guys ask it, Here's the thing is, like, because of what I just said, like, you're acting like I wouldn't want to be a mentor. It's like, once again, it's not really about that. It's just not the main focus. I see myself as a guy that can play in this league. So if your main focus was just like, hey, but I'm going to get you ready, you're just not taking care of business. The best way to be a mentor, honestly, is like show people how you go to work, and like I said, hope that they pick up on that stuff, but not necessarily force them to pick up on the things that you do.
All right, now that was Joe Flacco. That was courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. With that one, Tyvis, let's get to your comments and your thoughts. What are your thoughts first and foremost on Joe saying that? And what are your thoughts on the whole mentorship aspect when you have Joe Flacco interacting with Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders?
I think he's 100% correct in what he's saying. I mean, I think he answered that brilliantly. I mean, either way he does answer it, somebody's going to spin the narrative. I think this is what I'll say. Joe Flacco is probably one of those quarterbacks that realize, all right, listen, I've had success in this league. I've had success in this offense. So for me, I'm confident in my ability to come back to Cleveland and still have success here because I've done it before. So I'm not necessarily worried about the competition aspect of it because all I'm going to do is be me. And I know that I'm going to be good enough because I've took this team to the playoffs. So for him, it's not about him competing. And when it comes to the mentorship part of it, what people got to realize is you spend all day with these people in this quarterback room. Like Shedeur, Dylan, Kenny, and Joe spend a lot of time together because they meet all day long. And while you're there, people have their own things that they have to come up with. Some people need to know first and second down. Some people need to study third down. Some people need to know the red zone. And when you come in there, sometimes you got to present what it is. I know in Tampa Bay, when Tom Brady was in Tampa Bay, the quarterbacks were like that. They had things where this guy specialized in the red zone. So when it was Thursday's practice and we had to stand up for red zone, he'd get up and present, this is what's going on in the red zone. These guys ultimately help each other out the entire time that they're in the roster. Like even for me as a DB, like when I went to Seattle, Sherman and Cam Sherman, they weren't threatened by me, but they definitely took the time out to show me things. They definitely spent time with me after practice. And Joe, to me, will probably do the same thing. If something comes up, Joe is going to say, this is why I'm doing this. You need to look for this. Or when you're running this play, this is what I do in this play. My eyes is here. Or when I'm running play action, the reason I'm so comfortable with play action is because I do this. I think about this. So he's going to teach them things about how to be good. I think what he's saying is I'm not about to go out there and force it. Like I'm not going to sit there and tell you my way is the best way. Like I'm going to tell you what I do. If you use it, great. If you don't, that's cool. But I'm not about to force you to go my way. Like that's just not what he's about to do because he got other things. He got bigger fish to fry, like get this team ready to be ready to win games. So
man, that was crazy.
Exactly correct.
Listen, when you said that, when you say I just thought of Shorty swing my way. Like, when you said Flacco, you gonna do it my way, and then I was like, okay, I could have did Usher my way, but everybody knows that. Like Shorty swing my way is just a little bit right. You know what I'm saying? And they had one song too. I had one song. No one know them. No, it was always one. It was always one girl like that in the hood too. You know, like if you know, you know. It was always one. Paul, the true believer. Before we get back, we're gonna talk about this too. We're gonna get into. We're gonna play a game called Fact, Fiction, or That Was Never a Thing. We're going to give out certain cliches that people say, and Tyvis, as a former football player, is going to have to say, is that fact, is that fiction, or that was never a thing? But before we do that, let's get to some of these super chat. Joe Flacco, Paul, the true believer, says, Joe Flacco has been a mediocre at best since leaving the Ravens and in that amazing defense, and that's who the Browns are trying to make quarterback one, shaking my head. Yeah, listen, he's right now, he's out here slinging the football. He might.
I mean, to say the mediocre part, it's like I hear what you're saying, I do, and I feel it to a certain extent. But you can't deny the fact that when he was with the Browns, like the man threw for 300 yards, darn near every game. So,
by the way, I want to let people know who foretold that 300 prophecy. I'm the one. I said that for game one he's throwing for 3. You're crazy, G. Bush. The Duke of knee jerk with Flaccovelli. I'm telling you.
But I agree. I'm not saying that he's the answer either. I think that we have enough. We know enough about Joe to know that Joe is going to fall off a cliff at some point. That's just what it is. It's unfortunate. He's going to come out there. He's going to play some really good football, but at some point he's going to fall off a cliff.
That's smoke.
And when that point happens, they have to have an answer for it. They have to have a guy that's ready to go.
And let's be clear. Let's be clear. And I'm glad for Jason Lloyd for coming around. Shedeur Sanders has to start the most games this year. That's it. That's it. Like, and here's the thing. And it's not even wild. Like, because here's the thing. You get the 5th round pick thing, right? Mm-hmm. I always ask people this question. If they make you think you're crazy because of what you're saying. If I felt like I wanted Shedeur Sanders at number 2, I'd say 2. When we did how many shows, Tyvis, on UCSS? How many of them? Thousands.
Oh, yeah, I say we up to a bunch.
Well, thousands of shows. Now we done sat on them shows and said, who do you want at 2? The number 2 answer was Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders, right?
We said it was 4 options.
4.
Travis, Shedeur, Cam, or Abdul Carter.
That's all we talked about. And then when we traded Travis Hunter, we was sick. There's still some people that's still kind of sick a little bit. Even like Cass is kind of hurt. And then at 33, right? At 33, you see him looking around. I'm like, bro, this is wild. I thought we might have to trade back up and get him. Mm-hmm. At 33, we didn't have to do nothing. And he was just sitting there.
Yep.
If you wanted him at 2 or 33, why would you not think that he is good enough to start for you? Because if we would have took him at 2 or 33, what will we be talking about?
Oh, him being in this, he'd probably be the starting quarterback.
Day one.
Or we wouldn't be talking to Kenny still. We'd be saying it's him. And actually, they would have so much invested in him that it almost is like he has no choice because Joe's contract is cheap. It's very expendable. You spent the 5th round pick for Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel was the 3rd. He probably wouldn't even got taken in the 3rd round. He'd have been the 4th, 5th rounder. So, yeah, he would have. We've been talking about him being the starter.
Miss TN, Shedeur is never afforded the benefit of the doubt. I do give you, listen, he not, and remember what we say, Tyvis, he got to over deliver. He got to overkill it.
Even if he just has a decent thing, they're gonna be like, he's the son of a Hall of Famer. Like it's still justifiable that he went in the 5th round. No, he gotta
over. And you know what the crazy part about it is? Prime done already told him that. That's a great thing. Like, he done already told him that. He'd understand that. Like, Shedeur understand that. Shiloh understand that. There's not a reason why. If you go back and we'll look at Shiloh and what he's doing in Tampa Bay, they talk about, oh, this kid is fast. Here's the thing, and we'll talk about it, because you at your point, Tyvis, you bouncing around being a free agent, from free agent to free agent to free agent, hearing your story is crazy, man. You should write a book about it, because it's a crazy story. And not for real, and I'm not just saying that because I'm saying it, but because when you're a person that has to deal with adversity of being like, one of the toughest stories I heard Tyvis say was he was just getting married. I think, did you have kids yet?
No.
He did, and he had to tell his wife, like, yeah, this might not be in the cards. Like what? Like, he's like, and I had nothing else to do. Nothing. I was like, I had to tell he was like, I just remember telling my father-in-law, I'm good. We'll take care of him. Like, I'm gonna take care of your daughter. Mm-hmm. But it's tough, because when you've had that situation where you play for Ohio State and you think you about to go here and I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna talk to them. Talk about how that really, in real time, when you think you about to do this and then they just tell you, nah, we ain't on you like that. We're not rocking with you like that.
It's not something that I recommend. I'll tell you that. I tell everybody, I wish that I just would have been better in college. But, you get these vibes with these teams, man. When you're doing your NFL draft process, you meet with a bunch of teams, all of them. It's so many events between the Senior Bowl, the Combine, Pro Day, and they're coming to work you out at your facility, that you meet all of these players, all these coaches, and you start vibing with some of them. They take you out to dinner. So you thinking to yourself, oh man, we having good conversation. We talking about the playbook and stuff like that. I had a good workout. So you're like, I definitely like that coaching staff, and I definitely feel like they like me too. So in your mind, you start painting the picture like, oh yeah, I'm probably definitely gonna go here. At some point, they got 6 or 7, 8 picks in the draft. I'm sure one of them picks will be mine. So you watch the draft and you sitting there like, all right, I remember talking to this team. All right, here we go. They coming up on the clock. Here we go. And then you see them pass you. And it's just like, man. So now you start to question your ability, and you starting to question the whole process of like, what did I do wrong, as them rounds start flying by. And it's very depressing, because you thinking, man, like, did I make the right decision? Like, what could I have done different and all those things? But realistically, all you need is an opportunity. It really don't matter if it's in the 1st, 7th, or undrafted. You just need somebody to say, you know what? We believe in you enough to give you a chance to come out here and show us something, And with that, whatever it is, you just got to take that opportunity and run with it. And so far, when you talk about Shedeur Sanders, that's all you hear. Even Kevin said, this dude's in the building all the time. He's always walking by my office. We always talking. I even seen Joe Flacco talking about, yeah, Shedeur makes me laugh every day. He always says something every day that makes me laugh. So he's won the locker room over. I mean, this dude had dudes tweeting. He had dudes tweeting about him when the Browns selected him. He was a 5th-round quarterback. So, yeah, I think his stuff is not the way that he wanted it to go, but he's definitely doing everything he can to stick around. And that's staying after practice, watching extra tape, doing extra drills, showing up early. Like, you got to show these NFL teams that you deserve to be here, because that stuff matters.
Hey, listen, we got a super chat. They asking Tyvis specifically. Tyvis, I know you was one of them dudes that was downplaying OTAs, but how can you say that when the coach says and say he watches everything? Can you clarify? Now, we talked about it earlier. I asked Tyvis, I said, listen, on one hand, they want your boy Myles Garrett to be here, but some people downplay the fact that what goes on in the OTAs is not like that, don't count. For a person like Shedeur Sanders, who is in that exact same position as you spoke on, as saying, I didn't slip down from 2 second overall pick to 5th round. I gotta make sure everything counts. Talk about OTAs and your thought process on, do they count for some people, or they did not, or your general thoughts about OTAs in general?
OTAs gives you a general idea of what you're going to have in camp. That's, to me, what OTAs is. These are guys that from the time that season ended, it tells me what you did. Did you work out? What did you work on? What did you get better at? Because on your exit meetings, we're going to tell you exactly what we think of you, things that we think that you need to improve on. And when OTAs come around, it's our first opportunity to see if you fix those things. That's why some of the stuff is scripted the way that it's scripted, because it's like, all right, this is a perfect opportunity. I told Tyvis I wanted Tyvis to work on his cover 2 skills. I wanted him to be able to reroute guys and be able to sink in that hole when he's at corner. Guess what? Run cover 2. Let me see right now if he's able to do it. We're going to run a concept to see if he can do that. Those are things that coaches are watching in there. And how do they handle adversity? For a young guy, you're going to hit that rookie wall, especially you're going to hit it at some point. The game is going to be much faster than you anticipated. The freaking D lineman is going to be fast. It's going to be like your wide receiver speed in college. And you're going to be like, man, this is wild. How do you handle that? Like, does the playbook get on you? Can you handle the playbook? Can you handle those chaotic environments? That's what they mean when they say we watching everything and we evaluating everything. How do you get better? Because OTAs is what, 2-3 weeks? Mm-hmm. So it's about 15 practices, something like that. From practice 1 to practice 15, did you improve? Did you change the things? Did you work on the things that we wanted you to work on? And if not, now we need to go find somebody in this offseason. We got to find somebody for camp to come in here because we don't have that position addressed yet. So to me, that's what OTA is.
Jeremy Long, kind of the same line. So Tyvis, they're seeing if the pass is completed. Wouldn't that apply the importance of practice? Y'all should hear Tony Rizzo rip Grossi. I will say this. When you're talking about the importance of it, I take it a step further. Will you ever be somewhere, and I remember coming in as a freshman, and they'd be like, look, we think you wild. They're like, listen, we feel like you in the streets. So I'm just because you going to these, you in the clubs all the time, and we feel you in the streets, G Bush. And I'm like, listen, man. So guess what? They tell you straight up, oh, we watching you, dog. Yeah, we watching.
We got spies out there for sure.
Hey, we checking at 8:00.
Yeah.
Just know the GA's checking that 8:00 class over at Morton Hall, math class.
And not only is they checking you in, they're gonna come back halfway through to look to make sure you're still in there.
Sign the time sheet for me. Sign the sheet. And here's the thing: what I realized though, too, like, and it's kind of an analogy a little bit. I realized that, like, how dumb was I? Like, I'm walking in football sweats, big as heck.
Yeah,
it's a class. It's a math class. It's a calculus class. It ain't even that many Americans in there. It's just me and all the foreign exchange students in this math class, and I'm sitting here being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just duck out." Like, they don't see you. Like, they don't say, "Yeah, this is the biggest guy in here." Like, the instructor don't know who you is. I'm like, bro, you was so stupid when you was young, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's kind of a thing where you're talking about. See, Shedeur understands all this. Yeah. He understands. Listen, he knows who he is. He knows what he got to do. And here's the thing, too. Right now, I think OTAs, the way OTAs matter is that OTAs give you an ability and OTAs give you an opportunity to show that you need more reps, right? What he's doing now just says, we're going to give you a bigger look when it comes to the fall, right? We want to see if you working on the things we want to work on. I want to see if I tell you something once and you made a mistake in the spring, in the fall, will you come back and correct that, right? Because here's one of the scariest things in the world. And there is a large advantage with this as well. And I'll get to the super chat as well. Morning Coffee, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. We here, G Bush. Let's go 12. Love to the CU aunties and the entire CU family. I'm telling you, they large and in charge. We cook over here. I'm telling you, Tyvis. they had to let you. He's like, yeah, we showing up. We pulling up. But I will say this. The thing that is a real advantage is the fact that this cat, Flacco, just know the playbook. Like, he just knows the book. Like, he just ran.
He knows the playbook and he has the experience over in this system. It's got a leg up.
Because here's the thing, when he's and to explain it a little bit, that's why I always felt like Kenny Pickett, when people talk about Kenny Pickett and Flacco getting cut, I said, listen, you got to understand something, man. When you are and you could talk to this in terms of landmarks in different ways. Like you playing defensive back, there's a coverage, and that coverage is going to take certain things away. That coverage is designed to take certain route combinations, whatever away.
Yeah.
And when you're a quarterback and you've seen every route combination, and you also know what the design of the play is that you're calling, he could get up there and tell guys, hey, listen, if they give you that look right there, that ain't even going to be open.
Correct.
Don't even look over there.
It's not even in the progression. If your route, if your route is something that you know, that's why identifying coverage is the most important thing for a quarterback. If you can figure out what coverage they're in, you know the route concepts that they're running. So you know you have to eliminate it. Like if they're in cover 2, I know that smash. I know that corner route's probably gonna be open because that corner's gonna be greedy. But if they're running cover 3, that might not be the case. That's not, if they're playing man, that might not be the case. So that's why it's important to look at them safeties, figure out which one is the boundary safety, because that safety is the one that's going to either stay high or he going to roll down. So that's going to tell you right there if it's cover 1 or cover 2. If he stays high, it's either quarters or it's cover 2. If he comes down, now it's either cover 1 or it's cover 3. So that's why those things is important. Look at me. I'm up here too.
You sound like sound like you done this before a couple of times.
But yeah, so like as a quarterback is going through his progression, he finds out, all right, that safety then rolled down. All right, then cover 1, cover 3. This is the routes that's open against those things in this play that we call boom. This is where I'm going with the ball. Like that's how it is. That you got to process all these things while you got these edge rushers that's really good coming after you. That's why you only got a certain amount of time.
Another super chat. EJ said, G. Bush, thank you for going in. People be forgetting that Dylan at Oklahoma and Oregon had a great offensive line. Shedeur still performed. Let's talk about this a little bit. I think there's one thing that and here's what I can respect about the people who come with Shedeur from Colorado. And I think it's funny because this is hilarious. It's just a thing. Like, I watched, my dad went to HBCU. We watched every Jackson State game. Like he like, yeah, turn to Jackson State. We had to get extra packages. I'm like, yo, do you get that? I'm all look, but Colorado was an event. Like, I don't think people be understanding, like, in the black community, I don't know if it was just me, but the people I was talking to, we was watching Colorado games, bro.
That's a fact.
All of them.
Yeah.
I'm watching Prime. I want to see Shiloh and Shedeur, and I'm trying to see what Tyvis Hunter doing.
It's a lot of people in the black community that really love Deion and everything that Deion is doing at Colorado. Like, so I mean, why you think all these celebrities is coming to stand on the sideline? Why you think all these celebrities is rocking Colorado gear? Because
rappers,
everybody, it's like, first of all, it's hard to have a black head coach to begin with, but to see Deion do it and do it in a different way and a style that's like appealing to the younger crowd, yeah, everybody's gonna follow that and everybody's gonna support that. Yeah.
My dad was like, listen, he said, hey, I want to give me one of them Prime hoodies. Now, mind you, think about this. Now, I went to OU, right? Mm-hmm. My dad went to Central State. My mom went to Kent. My other brother went to Akron. My brother that went to Akron and my dad, huge Ohio State fan. Mm-hmm. I mean, they gonna watch. These guys used to watch Ohio State. We had to move our games. They were like, yeah, I'm still gonna listen to Ohio State while I'm watching y'all. Huge Buckeye fans. But listen, they wasn't asking for no Ryan Day hoodies. They wasn't asking for no Urban Meyer hoodies. None of that. They said, listen, I need one of them Prime joints immediately. That's how we was moving. That's how they were shaking up there. But I will say this to this super chat. EJ says Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma and Oregon had a better offensive line, which is unequivocally true. Like, Shedeur Sanders didn't have nobody rated in the offensive line and what he was doing. But the one thing that even people from Colorado talk about, I think is the biggest hurdle for Shedeur Sanders is this. And this is the first thing I want to see, because I'm married to what happens on the field, and it is what it is how quickly is he going to get rid of the football? If there's one thing that people look for, Shedeur was tasked with throwing the football and tasked with making plays. So sometimes when you're trying to make a play, you're going to have to extend Tyvis. You're going to have to hold the ball longer. Yeah. In this offense, And for rookies, that's a you could do that to your detriment. I can show you a graveyard of rookies who hold on to the football too long, and especially when that pass rush is coming, because like you said, you got defensive ends that's faster than your receivers. Are you worried about that? And is that something you can coach out of somebody in terms of holding the football?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that you could coach out of them. I mean, that's when you think about a guy like Caleb Williams, that's why he struggled last year with the Bears. You know, all of these quarterbacks that came out in this year had that same thing. Cam Ward also is another guy. They're so used to not taking the good play and trying to make the great throw all the time. In the NFL, you really can't do that. And what I like about Shedeur the most is that he spent time with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady was one of the best, especially late in his career, that got the ball out of his hands really fast. But to do that, it takes so much studying. That's why film watching is the most important thing to me, to guys that wants to be successful in the NFL, because now you have to be able to come up to the line. Remember, I just told you at the snap of the ball, you need to look at this safety, look at the blitzes and all those things. Well, if you're going to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds, then you need to already have your mind made up. Like, this is probably what they're going to do, and I'm ready to go. I'm already anticipating what that defense is going to do. That's where fake snaps come in, where, hi, just to get them to show their hand and stuff like that, get guys to move around so you can get a good feel of what's about to come. Now you can get the ball out your hands in 2 seconds. And for Shedeur, I would say that that's something that he has to work on. And I think that under Kevin Stefanski, I think that's what Kevin wants. I think Kevin wants the ball to come out of his hands fast. So, hopefully Joe can show him some things, and hopefully he can understand that, listen, I got Judy, I got Njoku. No, those guys do a really good job of getting open very quickly, and I got to put the ball on them. Especially for a quarterback who don't got that strong of an arm, as people would say, you definitely got to get the ball out early.
Larry Fournier say, I just be calling it Fournier. Sorry, Larry. But Fournier sounds crazier. It sounds better. Like, I know that might be like, but yeah, man, my man Fournier says, Mary Kay and her Cleveland media cohorts are not ready for the CU aunties, uncles, and the rest of the family's wrath. I told you, bro, they out here ready to go. Here's what we're going to do. You got a super chat. You want to ask Tyvis anything? Because I know y'all be wanting to get to him. What we're going to do is we're going to get to the next subject. If you got any questions you want Tyvis to get to, I promise we will read every single super chat. I promise we read all those. We'll put you on the screen. We'll get to them and make sure that Tyvis reads all of those as well. Let me get to this. What I want to do. Where I want to go with this. This is where I want to go. I want to move this first. I'll be missing I don't be seeing, man. Where am I at? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I want to do this. So we've been talking about Shedeur Sanders for a little bit, and we've been talking about the rest of the quarterbacks as well. I threw out a question for you as well. We talked about it with Don't Get It Twisted. One of the things that people be saying in the locker room, and people always be coming with these cliches, is a locker room distraction a thing? Some of the stuff that we hear all the time is, people will say, you know what, G. Bush, they got to talk about Shedeur. And this is the reason why we don't want to talk about it, is because it's such a large distraction. It's just the 5th round pick. We got to keep talking about it. And for me, I want to ask about this, because to me, in my mind, I would think that would be something that just doesn't pop off. Would you say this is fact, fiction, or I don't go down like that?
The locker room, where you talking about, like, as far as where somebody got drafted, like Shedeur being the son of Deion?
Yeah.
Does that cause rift in the locker?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Because the thing is, I don't understand. That has nothing to do with me. Like, if I'm a player on the Browns, okay, that has nothing to do with me. Yes, I'm sure the media is going to be interested in that, but my job is to try to make this football team and do the things that I can. So, to me, that has nothing. No, if anything, I'm gonna ask questions about Deion. Like we gonna have some fun with it in the locker room.
Right.
But when you talk about getting on the field and stuff like that, as far as going about our job, that has nothing to do with anything.
I just, because I'm glad. The reason I want to ask you that because to me it sounds like the craziest thing in the world. If I'm trying to feed my family, you got a wife, you might got a baby on the way. Your mom and dad, you trying to retire them. You trying to do some generational wealth type things, right? And can you imagine that you mess around and get cut because you worried about what Shedeur Sanders is doing? Think about that. You couldn't worry about what coverage you had. You got beat on a double move on the goal line. How you get beat on a double move on the goal line, dog? That's an oxymoron. And you got cut because Shedeur Sanders was a distraction. To me, I don't understand how you could be in a professional sport and a distraction happened by another man. What?
The only way I could see the locker room feeling some type of way is if there's some type of favoritism towards him because of that. Like
right.
that, all right, why they showing him all kind of love just because he Deion? Like, all right, if the coaches was doing something like that, then that's where I could see somebody having some rift. But in Shedeur's case, it's the exact opposite. If anything, they probably don't want to deal with it. So therefore, it shouldn't be a distraction at all. So if Shedeur Sanders makes this roster, it's because he earned it, not because of who his father is.
All right, so that don't even happen. Let me ask you this another question. We're gonna get to this as well. How often do players get upset when the media asks a question? Like they say, okay, well, if I'm in the locker room and I got to keep answering questions about 5th round picks, would that annoy you?
Yes.
All right, so go talk to me about. So that's the thing.
Yes, it would, because it would be like, all right, I get it. I've answered this question about Shedeur. If you ask me a question about Shedeur, I'd be like, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. All right, it is what it is. Now you come back, but that's the thing. Like you can ask me that question one time, and every meeting you can ask me one time about Shedeur, and I'll probably give you something. But if it's every single day, and you go keep asking me about it. First of all, you out there, so you see it yourself. That's one. Two, like I don't know what you want me to say. Like I got another job. Like ask me something, especially if I play defense. I play defense. Why are you asking me about him? Like,
would you be
don't ask the offense about what they think about Shedeur. Me, I could care less.
All right, would you be more mad if they asked you about Shedeur being a 5th round pick, or they asked what makes this rookie that played the same position so great? Like if you was a veteran, they say, listen, you got to Tyvis, we see listen, we saw Justin Jackson out there. He was an undrafted kid out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I mean, his hips are great. His back pedal is tremendous. What is it like learning from a guy like that?
First of all, they ain't gonna say that. They ain't gonna say nothing about you learning from. But the thing is, people take pride out of their position group. So like nobody will have an issue, talking about somebody that's in their room, but to ask me about Shedeur every single day, like that would get annoying after a while.
Man, listen,
I would politely tell them next question.
Hey man, I gotta listen to it. They ask me about you every day. Where Tyvis at? They ask me all the time. G. Bush, how does it feel to have no facial hair and Tyvis have a great beard? I don't know, bro. Ask people would get. Listen. I'm telling you, I'm working on it. I told you I'm working on it.
I see your little whiskers coming in over there, right? You
don't refer to them as whiskers?
I'm just saying. Listen, bro, everybody got to go through the phase. It's like when you getting dreads. You got to get them little twisties for a little bit.
Man, if y'all know hey, listen, it's a bunch of people in the chat right now that's like, BDBs? What are BDBs? What is them? What?
Gotta go through your rough stage.
They got rough. Everybody know that rough stage. There's some people in here. It's locticians in here somewhere. Listen,
you ever grew your hair out to get braids and you ain't have no hang time?
Bro, listen,
that's the rough stage.
My side hair still don't grow. My sides still don't grow. It be look like ragweed, it be tumbleweed. And I don't understand how I got certain quality hair on one side than the other. Like this right side don't lay down for nothing. People in the chat like, this is ridiculous.
It's funny is I got the same thing, and it's my right side too.
No, I got 720s. I got 720s, no 360s. This quadrant I get clowned about. And you know what? I know, listen, if you know, you know. Listen, this is what happens when you get two black people together. We're allowed to talk about it because it's the barbershop. And oh my God, G. Bush was talking to Tyvis. They were talking about their hair.
Yeah, you're not brushing your hair the right way. You gotta brush it, with the grain, you know what I'm saying? Like
they were talking about do-rags, and I thought what's a do-rag? You know what? Look, we can talk about stuff too. Y'all be talking about hunting. I'll be hunting. We don't do that. We don't just be out in the woods with other grown men. Me and Tyvis ain't never going hunting.
No, probably not.
We might go to get some shoes to get. Actually, we can't. That's another thing we really can't possibly like. There are certain things that you do when you get older that you really can't do, like with grown men together. Like
you can't camp out for shoes no more together.
Nah, bro, that's kind of strange. Like we both like 30 plus, and then we like, yo, I'm gonna tell my wife, where you going? I'm going to Columbus to get some shoes with Tyvis. What? That's not even believable.
Right. First of all, we too grown to be doing that anyway. I just get on GOAT or something.
Yeah. Send them to the spot. Like it don't be working like that. And I'll be looking around. I'll be saying, and shout out to your wife there. Listen, I don't understand how people be getting that off. I don't either. Like some of these like stories where men be creeping off doing all kind of other crazy stuff. It'd be like, bro, how do you get that off? They just believed you was in business for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Hey. They turn the TV on and be like, oh, no, you were supposed to be at work. Why aren't you on UCSS today? I digress. If you know, no, where you at? With you today? Listen, let's get to this. I want to get to this game we're going to play. Now, we Shedeur Sanders and the quarterbacks, they throw to a guy. They've been trying to throw to a guy, and this guy is going to be the number one receiver. If you don't know, you know it is Jerry Jeudy. Now, Jerry Jeudy just came out, PFF just came out with their rankings of exactly the top 32 receivers in the game. And we're going to play a little game, and we're going to test Tyvis's knowledge and see whether or not he knows who the top 32 NFL receivers are. And if he can put them in their correct ranking. So we're going to figure this out, man. We're going to get to this. So PFF came out with their 32 rankings. Jerry Jeudy is he's definitely the Browns' number one receiver. I suggest that they spam the ball to him because they don't have anybody else. By the way, Deontay Johnson. Why is Deontay Johnson out of camp?
I'm praying that he come out and say that his girl just had a baby or somebody in his family is sick. Like I need that to be the case because there has to be a legitimate reason. There's no way that I'm about to sit here and believe this man I ain't coming to OTAs to a brand new team. I don't
at least getting good with one of the quarterbacks. One of them, it's 4 or 5 of them you can just bunk with and just be like, yeah, listen, we're going to throw me the ball, throw me the football. Jerry Jeudy is now about to get the ball every single play. And other than that, they will run the ball. But let's get to this game because I think some of these receivers, have you played against some of these receivers? We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's get to our game here. Let me go ahead and do this. This is where the magic happens. There's always a case it don't work. Oh, can y'all see this? Can y'all see this at home? You see this, Tyvis?
I can see it.
Okay. So let's get through the tier list. So oh no, I want to view this. I want to view it right here. Here we go. I like this right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you a tier list, right? We got 32 receivers, actually 33 receivers down here. And we're going to go through this, and Tyvis is going to pick the tiers from these people, right? S tier means superstar, rarefied air, top of the game.
Okay.
A, B, C, D, that's pretty much explanatory. Now, here's the thing. Just because you're a top 32 dude does not mean you can't be no C player. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to move this down right now. All right, here we go. So let's start off with your S tier, Tyvis. And that is the superstar tier. Let's go ahead and talk about who you would have in your superstar tier as the tippy top of the food chain.
All right. Well, we know we coming with Jamar Chase.
All right, hold on. Let me go ahead. So we're going to put Jamar Chase, superstar status, okay?
You know we coming Jay Jettas.
Okay, let me see where we at. Justin Jefferson. G. Bush, do you got we got Justin Jefferson right here. Boom.
Let me see who else on there. CD Lamb.
CD Lamb. So you got CD Lamb in the superstar status.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. So those hold on, watch this. Hold on. And now I gotta take a look at this.
I gotta zoom in. I apologize to the people.
Here's what we're gonna do, because I'm gonna give you some of the names. I wish I could have. Where's this at? Oh, here we go. I am going to I should have probably thought this out a little better. It was great the first time that I did it, and then the power went out, so it's okay. All right, so here's what we
got: Puka, AJ Brown.
So you're gonna have to match the tiers, right? So in PFF's tiers, in tier number 1, superstar status, they have 3 receivers. It is up to you to choose those 3 receivers to see if you can get them correct.
I'll go with them 3 then.
You're going with those 3 right there.
I'll go with them 3.
Final answer. Final answer, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll roll with those ones. Okay. That's tier 1. We're closed. By the way, Justin Jefferson has been in the conversation for the league's best receiver since his rookie season. Over the past 3 years, the Vikings star ranked 2nd among all wideouts in the cumulative WAR, which is 1.66. That's win above replacement, and holds the 2nd best per season WAR average at 0.55. That's actually good. And then let's go with Jamar Chase. The 2024 Triple Crown winner, 1st in receptions, receiving yards in receptions, receiving touchdown, excelled in several areas. But his work after the catch was stood out the most. He gained 800 yards after the catch last season, leads all receivers with 1,788 yards after the catch since 2022. So those are some of the guys that are in your tier 1. Let's see if you can pick out tier number 2, Tyvis. Now, in tier number 2, you got a choice of 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, 5 guys. 5 they have in tier 2. Who do you put in tier number 2?
Give me AJ Brown.
Okay, let me get him. AJ Brown.
Give me Puka Nacua. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra. There you go.
Give me Tyreek.
Okay, let's see where do you have Yes, we do have Tyreek Hill.
You say it's 5 people?
5 guys. 5 guys. 5 guys. Now I could throw some names out here. Listen, as we see, we have Garrett Wilson still on the board. We have Malik Neighbors still on the board.
This is going off of last season.
It's going off last season. You got a couple Buckeyes in here.
No, I ain't
Jackson Smith and Jigma, Terry McLaurin.
To me, it's Terry.
Nico Collins.
Terry had a great year last year too.
Mike Evans is still on the board.
Mike Evans it's between Mike Evans and Devontae for me. I'm gonna go Mike Evans. Put Mike Evans on.
You're gonna put Mike Evans. DK Metcalf is there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We get Mike Evans. Hey, this your list.
I give him Mike. It should be Terry, but you know.
Yeah. So that's 5 guys. Let's 5 guys in that list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in tier number 2. All right, so let's see tier number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This is the biggest list.
I got a dang near every bucket.
Tier 3. So
Terry is definitely is there.
Okay, let me go ahead and get back to my screen. So you got Terry McLaurin, Buckeye. All right, so here you go.
Give me T. Higgins.
Okay, T. Higgins. Okay.
Give me Brandon Ayuk.
Okay. Dang, Brandon Ayuk, that's kind of high. He
No.
coming off injury too? Okay.
Yeah, he's a good
All
route.
right. All right. Go ahead.
give me Judy.
Jerry Judy makes a triumphant jumping on the list. First Cleveland Brown. You got 8, so you got 4 more.
All right, give me Garrett.
Garrett Wilson, another Buckeye. All right. Who else?
Give me Devontae.
Devontae Smith.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that too. Him and give me.
Listen,
I don't want to disrespect Devontae Adams either. Adams.
Now listen, let's bring this up. So he has still on the board. Malik Neighbors is here.
That's Malik Neighbors still on there.
Malik Neighbors, Jalen Waddle is still here.
Give me.
Lad McConkey, Zay Flowers, and Brian Thomas, Rasheed Rice, Chris Olave, Nico Collins. Listen, it's some bad boys. DK Metcalf still here.
Give me. Put Malik Neighbors in there.
All right, Malik Neighbors. Listen, Cortland Sutton is still here. Malik Neighbors, he said. So how many we got in beats here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got one more. Brian Thomas had a crazy year last year. Nico Collins had a nice year. You still got Marvin Harrison and Olave Buckeyes, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you still got Drake London, Jameson Williams. It's a lot of dudes on here, man. You got one more though.
Mm-hmm. This is tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is coming up this year. I think this year?
2025.
Dang,
2025. That's what we're messing with. It's tough. See, this is the point, chat. This is great right here. We do this because we trying to let y'all know everybody is top 20 or top 15 or top 5 till you have to spell it out. Until you have to put them down on paper. You be like, dang, is they really that nice? We gonna see.
This is sad because I'm really torn between the last two, between Marvin and Devontae Adams, because I still think Devontae Adams
can play.
Come on, man. Devontae Adams at a point in time was one of the best receivers in the league.
He is. DJ Moore is just sitting there. I'm surprised you don't have Nico Collins. I'm surprised Nico Collins is not even on your. I mean, we saw them single-handedly destroy the Browns a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
is it because you just don't, you don't respect his gangster? What is it, man?
He's a Wolverine.
Jalen Waddle is on there. Brian Thomas had a crazy year too. All right, sir.
But I don't trust Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, man, you got 30, man. You got 15 seconds, man. We can't be here all day.
Give me Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, final answer. Here we go. We'll put him in that list.
He got Matt Stafford. He got the best quarterback.
Here we go. So now we go to the C tier. Now this is wild. So we get to the C tier, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in the C tier.
Okay.
All right. So where we going with it?
Give me DJ Moore.
That's messed up. DJ Moore is all-time C.
I'm sorry.
Immediately, DJ Moore. It's a couple ones you should be getting to it quickly too. Hey man, come on, man. Chris Godwin, come on, man.
Hurt last year, but you can put him in the C tier for sure.
Hey, he's in the C tier too. We gonna help you out a little bit.
Give me Marv. Marv can definitely go in the C tier. He last.
Oh man, Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, ooh.
Give me Jalen Waddle.
Or more.
This
is who Tyvis Powell really respects or disrespects.
give me Brian Thomas.
Oh man, you got him regular. You got him real regular.
It's not regular. It's not regular. It's not him. It's his quarterback. That's the
okay.
problem.
I mean,
how many I got left?
3? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 more. 3 more.
Give me Nico. I'll put Nico in this one.
Wow, Nico. Not messing with you at all. Let's keep it pushing.
I want to put Chris, but Chris ain't gonna have no quarterbacks. I can't really put him.
Man, Cortland Sutton is on the board. Your boy Josh Downs from Indianapolis. Drake London, Jackson Smith, and Jigba.
Give me for next season. Give me Ladd, because Ladd.
Oh wow, Ladd McConkey. Okay,
Ladd
young boy.
at the end.
You got one more. Got one more. This is a tough one. Give
me Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
Yep. So I got to do.
My goodness. So now we are Zay Flowers. Let's look at it. We got the final tier coming up. And final tier, we got 3 in tier 6. 3 in tier 6. So what you got?
There's 3? I only got a
3. You get 3.
Oh, this is disrespectful now.
You see how the game worked? This is 3.
Give me Drake London. He's a 1. He's like a number 1 receiver.
Drake London, you get 2 more.
I think Rashee Rice is gonna have a bounce back year. I think they really missed him last year. So
that's what you saying, Rashee Rice?
Yeah. And then give me JSN. Bam. Go Bucks.
So, all right.
With an honorable mention to J-Mo.
So let's take a look at this. Man, if you had to just throw them in after those guys, how would you rate the? So this is the best of the rest. So right now, what you're saying is, you saying DK Metcalf ain't in the top 32. Chris Olave.
He took a step back last year, didn't he? And it's Mason Rudolph throwing him the ball. Chris Olave got Tyler Shuck throwing him the ball. J-Mo got Jared Goff, who's actually really good. Debo got to lose 15 pounds to get back to who he was. If he lose 15 pounds,
he had the same wrist. He had that wrist injury.
He had the same thing I had going on. Josh Downs, I don't trust Anthony Richardson. And Cortland Sutton is definitely, that was actually my dude when I was with Denver. He actually is a really good player. That's how I would do that.
Now, let's go ahead and see this. Now, let me see if I could do this, because I'm going to do this in a way that we can get y'all to keep. Matter of fact, 2,700 people in here. Hit the like button. I appreciate y'all. Let's do this. So now that we have that, let's talk about who you got right and who you got wrong.
Okay.
So let's see. In the top tier, in your S tier, we'll see how Tyvis did. Y'all tally at home. He says he has Jay Jettis, CeeDee Lamb, and your boy, Jamar Chase. Let's see it. Tier 1. Is he correct?
Oh, AJ Brown.
He got 2 out of the 3. The one that he missed was AJ Brown, and Brown dominated defensive backs across the board. His success against single coverage is especially notable. He earned the highest receiving grade versus single coverage in 2024, 96.6, and leads the league in the category over the past 3 seasons, 2022 to 2024. Now, when you're looking at this, what do you believe that CeeDee Lamb is better than AJ Brown? Because that's where you had it.
As a talent, from a talent standpoint, yes, but I do think AJ Brown got a better mentality and is more of a dog. Got that dog attitude more than CeeDee Lamb. But if you're talking about just pure route running and pure run playing the game, I would pick CeeDee Lamb over AJ Brown.
All right, so if you're at home tallying right now, that means Tyvis has got 2 correct so far. That's not bad out of the 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 is good, man. So have you played against any of these guys? These guys too young.
No, they're young.
Oh, they're young boys. Yeah, you see
and AJ Brown. I don't know if AJ was AJ Brown in Tennessee.
He was in Tennessee.
Was he in Tennessee in 2016?
I don't know. No,
I don't know either. No, I don't think he was. All
right, so we out of there with that. Let's get back to this. So let's get to your tier 2. Your tier 2, you had AJ Brown, which by default is incorrect, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and keep going. You had Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans. Now looking at it, do you think you could have moved some stuff around?
Yeah, like,
you like this?
The one that gets me the most is the Terry. It's Terry. Terry could be where Tyreek is because Tyreek didn't really have a really good year last year, so he could. And Terry had probably his best statistical season, so those two could be switched. The rest of them, pretty good.
Let me see if Tyvis gets smoked on this one. Let's take a look at it. So he had Amon-Ra St. Brown, correct? He had Puka Nacua, correct? CeeDee Lamb was one spot down. Him and AJ Brown switched. And the one, and you also had Tyreek Hill. Okay. So let me go back and see. Come
on now, put some respect on my name.
let me go back and check. All right, so he got Puka, St. Brown, Tyreek Hill. The two you missed was Mike Evans and AJ Brown. But here's the thing: you had AJ Brown a little higher. But
they had AJ Brown higher.
But I don't even have that a bad miss because CeeDee Lamb and him could have flip flopped. So I'll give you credit for having 4 in the possible. Like this is spades. 4 in the possible for Tyvis right there. Now Mike Evans, he was nowhere on that list. But the one that you missed, Nico Collins. Has posted back-to-back seasons with elite receiving grades 91.4 and 92.3 in 2024. His combination speed, route running makes him a true number one option. Why do you have him so low, Tyvis?
Why do I have Nico Collins so low?
Yeah, why you got him so low? He went to Michigan. He went to Michigan. That was it. That's all he was. You went to Michigan. That's it.
It's sad that I've been out of it for this long, and I still got that type of
That's just it.
He's a solid player to me. Like, and he did his thing against the Browns for sure. But I don't know. Like, it's not like he has like 200-yard games and stuff like that to me personally. I think he's a very productive wide receiver for sure.
Let's get to this. Let's get to tier number 3. Now, tier number 3 is where you can go wrong. So in this tier,
actually, I didn't do that bad.
So you had Mike Evans a tier above. So at least you didn't think he was garbage. You think he was better. But you had Terry McLaurin. Drake London was not on that list.
I think he had it 1 year lower.
Malik Neighbors, you got correct. Garrett Wilson, I think you got correct. T. Higgins, I think you got correct. I'm not sure. And Devontae Adams, I think you got correct. Let's take a look at your list so we can make sure. Let's see. It was close. McLaurin, T. Higgins, the couple you did not have correct
was Brian Thomas.
And
Drake London.
And Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Yep. Jerry Jeudy and
Brandon Ayuk.
And Devontae Smith, sorry.
Devontae Smith.
You know what? Yeah, you did bad on that one. You only got a couple. You did bad on that one, bro. Yeah, you come on now.
I don't know how they feel like that with Jeudy. Jeudy had a good season. Jeudy at a point in time, he was like 3rd or 4th in receiving yards when Jameis was at quarterback.
Watch how this comes full circle. So the guy that wasn't in this list, Brandon Ayuk didn't make the list. Jerry Jeudy was not supposed to be in that list. And Devontae Smith was not supposed to be in that list. But you got 1, 2, 3. You got 5. 5 out of 8 ain't bad. 5 out of 8 ain't bad on that one. I'll give you that. So let's get to the C tier.
Yeah, that is not that
5.
bad.
That's not too bad.
Grade. Yeah,
that's a passing grade. Let's go to this list right here. You had tier number 4. You had Devontae Smith, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Ladd McConkey, DK Metcalf, and Chris Olave. Now, this is where your list falls apart a little bit, Tyvis. There's a lot of dudes on here that like, this is where your list falls apart, my man. It's a little nasty work. You, DJ Moore, you got
hold on, wait a minute. To be fair, I kept asking you, was this off of last year or is this what I think about this upcoming season? Because this upcoming season, we need to keep this because I guarantee you after this season,
we can save
like
you see it say save. It say save. We can save it. You got DJ Moore, You got Chris Godwin. Man, your man's Maserati Marv wasn't on there. Brian Thomas was on the one above. Nico Collins was actually in tier 2. Lab McConkey was there, and Zay Flowers was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Yeah, that was nasty work. Let's go ahead and cross. Yeah. You missed Olave, DK Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk, and
I had a one higher. What?
Actually took that L. All right, last segment, last one. Who didn't make the list? You put right there. You have
DK and Chris.
You have. Is this? Who is this? Who is this right here? No, you had Drake London, Rasheed
Rice, and JSN.
Yeah. So we guess what? Let's go ahead and look at that. Take a look at what you see what you did. None of the above. You missed all those.
That's ridiculous.
You missed Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, Jamison Williams of the Detroit Lions. You missed all of those.
That's ridiculous.
Why?
I hear the J-Mo one, the Deebo one. That's ridiculous. He was terrible last season. Absolutely terrible last season. So there's no way that they have him. This is flawed. This list is flawed. I'm sorry. That right there tells me that's flawed.
Can you see what the thesis statement was? You know who didn't make the list?
Jerry Jeudy.
At all.
That's flawed.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy did not make the top 32 receivers. I think the purpose in the conversation is like, look, yes, we have a number 1 receiver, but is he in the top 32? He's borderline, right? And it's tough because there's a lot of teams on that list. And when you talk about the Cleveland Browns in general, there's a lot of teams on that list. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill have 2 people on the list.
This is what I'll say about the list, because it's not fair to say this. I would have loved to have seen if Amari Cooper was on those lists when he was a Cleveland Brown. Because if the answer is yes, then Jerry Jeudy absolutely 100% should be on this list because they are almost about the same. Don't get me wrong. Maybe Amari Cooper's route run is a tad bit better. They about the same, though.
Kind of. I'll give it to him. I do think that the worst position, as before we get to the super chats, I think the worst position on the football field, as you I guess extrapolate this out, the worst route running, the worst downfield playmakers are in the Cleveland Browns roster. I do think that the wide receiver group is the worst in the league, and I think they're going to have to use some other things like tight ends to make sure that they can have a significant
over the Titans. Wait, no, the Titans got they got Ridley and Treylon Burke.
Yeah,
you take them over Jeudy.
It's borderline.
You take them over Jeudy and Cedric Tillman.
It's borderline. It's borderline, man.
It's definitely a coin flip.
All right, we're gonna get to super chats. We got a bunch of them, so I hope you're ready to answer these questions, man. Let's see. Let's start with. Let me see. Make sure we get everybody. Here we go. Reverend BJ Nelson, get them likes up 260 with 1,900 folks here. We need them likes. I appreciate you, man. As always. Let me stop sharing that too. We appreciate you as well with that, and we want to appreciate everybody who's checking in. Charles T. Booby says, "What's up, G? Y'all coming to London?" Man, I don't. Tyvis, listen. Will you be with the Browns radio and you won't be there?
No.
Dude said no quick.
I got work. I got a full-time job now outside of the Browns, so I got to be at work on Monday.
Yeah, we can't. You can't slide nowhere.
Yeah, nah, I won't be there.
Hey, when 12 gets his start, the Uncle Auntie's pulling up to the game. We need merch, G Bush. Oh, don't worry about it. Push the merch is alive. Bushlinebeauty.com. We make sure we get all that. We got the t-shirts and all that coming. Hey, listen, 12, don't play around. Don't hit us with the cease and desist. You know, I know I gotta talk to Prime. don't hit us with the cease and desist. Yoshi Doshi says, G, you said it would be Flacco Sanders the same week. It's like we predicted the Macedonian Empire with Philip and Alexander. I told y'all. Listen, I got the crystal ball, Tyvis. I'm be playing around, man. We appreciate the super chat as well. Dan Blakely, ESPN in Cleveland did send 5 people to be able to track the stats according to Grossi and Chops in Cleveland. So yes, the stats are true. And every touchdown from every quarterback came from 7-on-7s. Hey man, shout out to Dan Blakely. So we was laughing, but they literally did send 10 people out there to do it. That's dope.
That's crazy.
Shout out to them.
Why did they only do 7-on-7? Why they didn't do 11-on-11?
I think sometimes they don't let them watch 11-on-11. Like
they were watching for the entire practice.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't do 11-on-11. Say for if Shedeur didn't get reps in the 11-on-11, how could they count it?
That makes sense.
Maybe they did count it. Maybe that's in there. Let us know, Dan. We appreciate the super chat though. Lauren says, Tyvis, to me, the national media should embrace the national coverage. I never heard of Mary hating K with the buzz. Do you see teams allowing access to OTA? Now, look, how do you feel about, let's see how we say this. How do you feel about when people say cats be hating? Do you think it's
it depends on the comment. Like the guy, it's a difference between hating and being critical of somebody's play. Like that, like hating is like that.
Give me an example of hating.
Hating is just being like, you know what, that dude ain't good enough. Like I don't see it. And then you be like, and being critical means like, oh, they had an opportunity where somebody was wide open down the field and he missed the throw. So I don't think he's that good. Like that's to me, like, give me an example of why you're saying.
Okay, so you say like, when that case, I be hating a lot. Because I'd be like this. I'm like, listen, he's not that good, man. He's not like, bro, he's not.
You got to give me an example. Why
he's not?
Why do you can't say somebody's not good and then not tell them why you said this person's not good. You that. Like, that don't make sense.
I can give you that. I like that because here's the thing. I think a lot of people with Mary Kay, the reason they don't like it is they feel like she keeps saying like little things like they passed over him 6-7 times. They're like, well, I mean, yeah, and by default, that means everybody passed over everybody. Like we've all been passed. If you didn't get the job, everybody passed on you. That's like saying, hey man, nobody gave me my regular radio show. No one gave me a radio show. They're like, everybody passed on me. By default, yeah, everybody in the country passed on you, G. Bush. But okay, like you're here now. What do you want us to do? I think sometimes that's what people say is hate. But at the end of the day, I do believe that if you back up what you say, like, hey man, if I just say you're not good enough, and I'd be like, this is the reason you're not good enough, and I show you X, Y, and Z, then I can say that. But I always say this. You could always shut people up. Ball.
That's a fact.
Balling out.
At the end of the day, as a person like me that does this stuff, like I can only go off of what you show me on the tape. Like what you put on tape is how I'm judging you. And if you you can't have a problem with me. You're the one that tell me what it is. Like what you want me to say. Let's play on the tape and you tell me that I'm wrong. Like that.
That's why I try to get receipts and be like, yeah, this is the reason I said what I said. Charles T, we brought this up a little bit earlier. He says a super chat says, I don't agree with the Cleveland media guys, Mary Kay and Grossi, but the CU aunties and unks go extreme also. I want Sanders to start, but he does not walk on water. I talked about this early, Tyvis. I said, here's what this thing is. It's like it's a push and a pull. I try to explain to people because somebody asked me, they pulled me over on the street and said, yo, G. Bush, man, I get that Shedeur, fell and people like him. But man, people go crazy over. I don't understand why people be going crazy. And I tried to explain to him. I said, listen, if you've been watching somebody for a long time, you think you can play. I said, what you got to understand is when you go from thinking that person's going to go at a certain place and you know him and people start saying anonymous things that may look like people hating a little bit, they're going to amp up their support. Like if somebody know Tyvis, right? And they say, oh, somebody come up anonymously and say, Tyvis, come up to me and say, G. Bush, Tyvis had somebody kidnapped the other day. I'm going to look at him and be like, bro, come on, bro. You out of pocket. Tyvis ain't kidnap nobody. Like, I know Tyvis, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna have to come with some crazy receipts before. And I still might not watch it. I still might be like, man, look, man, you could have doctored that. You see what I'm saying? But when you know somebody, you going to go that hard for them. Like, you're going to go hard for them, especially when you feel like it's unwarranted, right? Mm-hmm. So I do think it's I think it's a little both ways. But at the end of the day, I think we all got, like you said earlier, I do think there's a lot of people that's biased on a lot of things. It's just part of feeling like, okay, I kind of like this guy. I'm going to root for him, right? Mm-hmm. And we've seen that with Baker, and we've seen that with other people. Charles C. also said, I understand Sanders gave CU and Jackson say they didn't have something to cheer for. Chill and let it play out. Don't pay grossly attention. Been wrong before. Been wrong forever. I'll say this. I disagree. Be excited. Tyvis, we didn't have nothing to talk about last year.
Yeah, no. We're talking about Deshaun's comeback last year.
Why would we not? Why would we not want to have something to talk about and be excited about if we're gonna have a competition here? Like, why? To
me, a lot of people are going into this season with low expectations for the Browns. He is probably the one bright spot right now that people are like, you know what though? If we don't win no games, but he looks good, and you know what I'm saying, we can figure out the quarterback situation, and he's the answer. That's a successful season to a lot of people. You know, we'll figure it out when, Deshaun gets off the books and we're able to make more moves. But to me, I think this is exciting because he could potentially be the answer to your franchise quarterback. Potentially. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying the potential is there, and that's exciting.
Dan Blakely, he said this twice. He said a super chat twice. So shout out to Dan. I'm just gonna say, what's up, man? The staff over at ESPN Cleveland, they got the checks then. They got a lot of got that bag where they be sending people out there. We appreciate you, man. Let's get to this one. Nelson Gonzalez. Kevin should take care of the time to throw if he's a really good coach. Shedeur has the accuracy that Kevin's system needs and the big playability that the team needs to win. Shedeur is in the books and putting in the work. And when you talk, we heard a little bit about this earlier, though, Tyvis, when we talked about what Shedeur is able to do. I think Shedeur was one of the most accurate quarterbacks. And what I like about him is he is a true pocket passer that delivers the ball. I do think this translates a lot to Kevin Stefanski's system.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Shurmur, taught Kevin what he knows. I mean, obviously, at Colorado, it's more of a college version because they're in shotgun a lot. He's just got to get comfortable up under the gun. But the concepts and stuff is all probably still the same terminology. So for him, he's probably walking in and speaking Kevin's language right off the bat. He's just got to get comfortable under center and with play actions, putting his back to the defense and things like that. And, as far as the accuracy goes, that's what Kevin wants. To me, honestly, the one thing the Browns got to learn how to do is take care of the football. That Kevin sits there and preaches about, I want a quarterback that don't turn the ball over. Yeah, every quarterback you have turned the ball over. So at some point, I want that to be clarified this year, and they don't throw a lot of picks.
Let's get to R Mac Dog. Say, hey, G, I would love to see some barbershop session with you, Quincy, Tyvis, with live callers, super chat questions. I say trade Pickett, start Flacco, and at the break, let the room, the rookies cook. 9-8 wild card. Now, listen. He cooking right now. Hey, R Mac Dog, here's the crazy part about it. I am working. I'm working on a show where I am trying to get Tyvis, I'm trying to get Quincy, and then I want to get my man, Cecil Shorts. And we're going to do the greatest podcast of all time, and we're going to do it live. Now, here's the only problem. There are capabilities where we could do a live-in show, but I got too many haters. It's too many trolls. I live stream on Facebook, UCSS, and Barbershop and Twitter. And you know how cats be. People will get on here and just be like, yeah, I'm about to get G. Bush banned. I'm about to say the craziest stuff. And you know how it is in radio. You can't do it. I just can't. Like, they would be like, yeah, I would love to do it, but we could do it through super chat questions. But we are going to get the guys together. We're gonna get that together. That's the greatest of all time right there. Put a 1 in the chat if you like that. Yeah, man. Listen, I got, but they cost a lot of money. Tyvis and them joints, they cost a lot of money. That's a lot of bread to be putting up for these dudes. These dudes, the bread crazy. It's obvious to me that Pat Sherman allowed Shedeur to come to the line and read the coverage and go. That's why he held the ball long many times. I know he held the ball for a lot of different reasons. And sometimes you just got to hold it. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Colorado had like 4.5 ball players. You're not going to have no running game. I don't know no linemen. Listen, they had.
No, they got the number 1 left tackle, Jordan.
He's a young boy. He was a freshman. He started.
He was the number 1 left tackle in the class.
He was. You had Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yeah.
You had Shedeur. You had big homie number 14. You had Shiloh. And you had Coach Prime, and Coach Prime wasn't playing. And Travis Hunter. Y'all had about 6 people. That's so, hey, if you had to hold the rock a little bit longer to get it done, so be it. So be it. Let's continue on. Morning Coffee. Ty, 12 won the highest quarterback award, Johnny Unitas Golden Armor, with the Browns running backs, Judy's tight ends, and the Browns defense. Why not start him game 1 when he can have a Jaden Daniels 2.0 season? I believe in 12. Talk to Morning Coffee and tell me what would it take for him to start day 1? What would his preseason have to look like?
Oh my gosh, he'd have to look like a varsity player playing against Muni League kids. Like, he would have to be out there going exactly where he's supposed to go with the ball. He should be throwing touchdowns. It should look effortless to him, because the reason I say that is because if he's going to be running with the ones, obviously it's some starters that's not going to play. Or whenever he gets in there for the first game, he probably going to be with the 3s or the 2s maybe. And he should look clear head and shoulders above them. It should look like these guys aren't on my level. It should be obvious that this dude does not deserve to be playing with the 2s or the 3s. So that should make them give him 1 reps. Because I don't know if Joe Flacco's going to play in the preseason or not. He should, but he probably won't because he's 40. And in the preseason, again, he's got to look good. Them joint practices, it should be laughable. He should be out there calling, hey, blah, blah, blanks the mic. 54 is the mic. Watch out for that nickel coming off the edge right there. Hey, protection slide. Get ready to slide over there. Hey, whoever in the slot, Deontay, get ready for this quick route, blah, blah, blah. It should be like that. And said go, it should go exactly what he said. Boom, the ball is out, and they moving the ball down the field. If he doing that, then the dude's ready to play. But that's got to come in them joint practices.
Jeremy Long says, this is both for y'all. Would you consider trading a 3rd for DJ Moore? Chicago wide receiver crowded, and we may need help if Tillman does not make a leap. 3rd round for DJ Moore.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have been done that. Is that hey, listen,
there's
Jeremy,
no way.
Jeremy, is that a did you hear a rumor? I'll put the rumor out if you want me to.
No way Chicago doing that, but I take that to the bank. Yes.
Phil Bowman, we appreciate the super chat. Phil, listen. Shout out to Phil if you want to shout out your church or your synagogue or wherever you go, or just your favorite soda next time you just threw some money out there. I appreciate you. G, thanks for the show. Better than cartoons, Phil Bowman. There you go. I appreciate you. Hey, we was out here looking bad. I told Tyvis we was going to get it done. For all those people, 2,790 people in here, thank you so much. The power went out. We ready to go, and we thank you so much. Crystal Ball says Tyvis be Browns DB coach in 5 years. Would you? Yoshi Dochi 2006 says, Tyvis, would you consider coaching?
I have no desire to coach. I enjoy teaching the fans. I enjoy trying to share my knowledge and help y'all understand what's going on in the field. The players, I don't really want to deal with that. Some of them ain't gonna listen, and I ain't got.
And plus, they spend ungodly amounts of hours just hanging around the facility, and that's not
away
cool.
From your family. Like,
no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Let's get to this. It says, Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Mary Kay said the owners felt sorry for Prime. See now, this is by Tyvis Powell's book. This is a little hate. I didn't see. Listen, Tyvis, mind you, the Browns radio network, Tyvis didn't say these things. G. Bush said them. It was me. It was me. I said them. Nah, Mary Kay said that the owners felt sorry for Prime, and that's why they drafted Shedeur. They're going to try to hold a convo with him messed up. Now, look, I don't agree with that, bro. Like, there's nobody, all jokes aside, there's nobody drafting nobody because they feel sorry for nobody.
That's a fact.
That's not the way it works. If they're going to move that way, they're going to get fired tomorrow. That's just... He got drafted based on his merit, based on his skill set and the ability to play. It's just not. That's not a thing. That he, and two, I just don't think. I think a lot of people have this unhealthy fixation with Coach Prime because of the way he came in and he's a mover and a shaker and he is a disruptor. I think a lot of people are unsettled by that a little bit, and the thought that. I even block when people say Coach Prime's going to come take over the Cleveland Browns. He don't want no problems with the Cleveland Browns. Why would you do that? Stay out in Colorado and keep building the championship squad. Just keep building towards that. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, the Browns was in a situation where they needed players and guys who they felt could help this roster for the future. So there is no chance to just waste no picks and things like that. So I think that they actually did see something in Shedeur, and that's why they drafted him.
Let's see. It was confirmed by Chops and Tony Grossi that all the TDs were 7-on-7 only. So Shedeur performed better because he had less attempts and more touchdowns.
Yeah, see that? Okay, yeah, whatever. But the thing is, I need more context. Was all these reps with the ones? Was these works with the twos, the threes? Like, I that's the part of this whole thing that I don't understand. What's the point of charting all of this if we doing he went 7 for 9 with the threes, or they went 14 for 21 with the twos, and they went with the ones? Like, those are different games. Like, I needed all one reps. Whoever took a snap with the ones, give me them numbers. What they do when they was with the ones.
Well, let me tell you this. Well, how do you? Here's the thing. How do you go about a situation you talk about? How do you evaluate a person if you're evaluating Tyvis and he does not get the opportunity to go with the ones? How do you evaluate him?
That's my point. I don't know how you can do that. That's the point. Like, I want to see him. If anything, if he went 7 for 9 against the threes or the twos, that tells me that he's better than the twos and the threes. You need to bump up. Let me see what he do with the other group. Okay. If he goes 7 for 9 with the ones, all right, now we cooking with grease. But I don't like. That's what I'm saying. They didn't give context on that part of it to what. Like, so Joe Flacco, I'm obviously Joe and Kenny with the ones, so Dylan and Shedeur's with the twos and threes? Or did Dylan take 1 reps too at 7-on-7? Did Shedeur take reps?
This is why we be telling people, guess what you got to do? You got to go to camp.
Oh, I
want my passes. I want all them passes, Tyvis.
The sad thing is I could go. I gotta find some time.
Look. I mean, you live in a whole other county. If Prime effect results in college game day at Jackson State, what do you think will happen if 12 gets a start and delivers? CUNC here for all of it. Baked ZD, here's what I will say. They're going to go crazy.
I'm telling you.
Tyvis said this. Listen, and I told Boogie, I said, listen, and this is documented. Under no circumstances are we stopping the celebration. That's off top. When he do that, Tyvis said it. When he do that the first time they score, it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go.
I'm telling you, they're gonna have foam fingers in the stand.
But like, bro, it's gonna go crazy. That's why I told him. He's like, man, you know what we was thinking? He asked me, should I keep doing? I said, under no circumstances do you change that.
Because I truly feel like that's kind of what happened to Deshaun, man. People go through some adversity and stuff, and then they start questioning, like, should I change this and that? When you on the field, man, when you put that helmet on, you're a different character. You're your alter ego. Like, and who you are is what got you to be here. Like, if you're a cocky dude on the field, then you do trash talk and all that stuff. You got to be that guy no matter what happened off the field, because that's the only way you're going to get back to being that good guy on the field. So for me, that was his thing. That's what he did. Like, that was his swag. Don't lose your swag because of a fact that you went to the 5th round. Like, no, don't let that happen.
We got this. Well, this is from Well Off Media. is well-off media in the building. He says, y'all must have to be politically correct because we are here acting blind to the things that are obvious. Well, listen, I will say this. I'm not very politically correct.
Not at all. We actually might be the exact opposite.
They don't be let me. They like, we not inviting you to nothing. Here's the thing. Here's what I try to do. What I do try to do is I try to give the receipts to things. Like, for me, if I come on here and I tell you, like, one of the things that happens is a lot of people will say there's a bias out there. Because one of the things that people do see, and it's obvious, because I talk about how people push back against it. One of the reasons people are so out there and talking about it is because there's this undertone that people see. The tone is different. When they talk about the Shedeur, guess what? The tone is different. It's like, that really didn't matter. It didn't really count. When they talk about other people, we talk about with Jackson Dart. All of a sudden, Jackson Dart is in the building. We love him. When you talk about certain things like that, people see the undertone. But here's go the thing, Tyvis. You got to show them. I listen, because if you ain't going to listen to me, you can just listen to me, or I can show you what it is. But listen, I've always said since day one, I think we can talk all we want. The greatest thing in the world is what you do in the field. And when you get an opportunity to show people what you could do in the field, can't nobody take that away from you. You can't do nothing about that. So the opportunity is there. And I think there's people that are in the Cleveland market that are rooting for him, that want to see a quarterback come and be a face of the franchise, because that's what we need. And we've been asking for it for a long time. But at the end of the day, I do think that there's some little stuff in the water. But the thing is, the Shedeur is going to get an opportunity to show and prove what he could do.
And that's all you really want out of him. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want him to have a fair shake of it. I don't want them to try to hold him back. I don't want there to be no biases. Because if you're going to sit here into the media and tell everybody this is an open cup quarterback competition, then that's what it better be. Like if Shedeur is out here doing this and going crazy in practice, bump him up. Like don't sit there and have him be the 4th-string quarterback if he's clearly doing better than everybody else. Move him up, because now you're stunting his growth. And I don't like that part of it.
And here's the thing, too, and before we put a bow on it, the reason why people started charting stuff is because here's the thing. A lot of people are from a lot of places around the country that are interested in this quarterback competition. And the Cleveland Browns opened that door. They said it. They drafted him. They drafted Dillon Gabriel. They say all 4 guys is going to get an opportunity to go in there and compete. If you're going to say that, you got to stand on that. And people are going to want to see, hey, you said there was going to be a competition. So when people report on this stuff, the reporting has to be accurate. People going to want to see the numbers. That's just what happens when you say we keep a track of all of this. And so, hey, the Cleveland Browns, good luck, because that's what happens when you have a competition. I'm for the smoke. I want all the smoke. And that's a good conversation that we can have right here, right now. We appreciate you checking out the channel. Make sure you subscribe, too. Better subscribe. Scott A said, if the Browns could tune out the noise, get a line, better receiver, Shedeur, and his accuracy could get a Super Bowl. Gabriel can be Chase Daniel. Thoughts?
I have no. Hey, I ain't got no issue with that. I ain't got no issue with that. If that happens, then the Browns had a successful draft. That's kind of what at the end of the day, I just want them to have their quarterback situation figured out. And hopefully they don't have to use one of those 1st-round picks they have next year towards the quarterback position. Realistically, in a perfect world, Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel is your franchise quarterback and DeJuan Jones is your franchise left tackle. Now we really cooking with them 2 picks in the 1st round.
Because listen, if I don't got to use them 2 picks next year, Tyvis, and I can use them on, wait for it, skill positions, receivers, toys. I like toys. I'm drafting on linemen. We did that this year. All right, last one. Dan Blakely says Shedeur playing under number 12 instead of 2 gives off man, the Gucci vibes having to change his name. This is why You put, hey, listen, well off media. Hey, as you can tell, there is a Kunta Kinte line in the super chat. This ain't your regular move. This one, hey, could you get that off? I would have to hit the dump button, Tyvis. If this
this was on the radio. You had to dump that.
We can't. Hey, producer, we G Bush. You better not touch it.
Everybody mad about that him not getting that number 2. I was mad about it for sure.
You was kind of salty.
Yeah, I was kind of salty because I
It's
definitely
kinda
was dealing with it too. But like I say, DC, that's my dog. Like I played with him when I was in San Fran, so I can't. Like that's my dog. I ain't gonna hate on my dog having number 2. Like I'm happy he got number 2 too. So,
hey man, listen, Tyvis, man, we kept you for all too long, man. I appreciate you, brother. You pulled up. You were supposed to be out grocery shopping with your wife, but you stayed around and talked to the people, man. And so I'm glad to have you on today, man.
Hey man, I appreciate you allowing me to come on, man. Anytime I can get a chance to, do a G Bush podcast. I mean, obviously you got to take that. And I just appreciate everybody coming up and showing love and supporting, man. And just it's crazy to see how big your platform has been in the 3 years that I've known you, where you at now. So continue to keep grinding, man. It's very inspirational to the younger guys like myself in this business.
Younger guys, man, come on, bro. Don't be acting like I'm old, bro. Don't be ageist of me, man.
Right, people, listen. I just seen this video that classified what the age groups mean in the Black community. All right, like I literally just watched the video. They said from like 7 to 15, that's little bro, right? 16 to 25 is the YNs.
YNs?
The YNs.
If you know.
If you know, you know. 26 to 33, that's big bro.
26 to 33? Okay.
30,
all right, keep going.
34 to about 40, that's unk.
Oh, don't do that. Nah, bro. That's
right now. I'm in the big bro phase right now.
Me and Tyvis the same age. Me and Tyvis, we went to the same school. Don't be trying to play me. Just because I still like you, but man, but no, we're not doing that, man. But I'm gonna tell you, man, we appreciate you, man. By the way, let me show you this right this, just to show people how we be rocking this stuff right here. Like I be trying to tell people all the time, there's levels to it. Like I be trying to say, we got cousins and brothers, our family members be more, we be more, like together. We be having extended family. And I told somebody, I said, listen, everybody knows this. You never lend no money to nobody that you need right back. If I give you $20, I am not expecting that 20 back. That's not it. I'm just not. I'm just going to say, I gave it to you. It's yours. It is what it is. I'm going to ask you before you get out of here. What is the, and you guys comment, put it in the comment section because we just having a conversation right now before we let him out of here. What is the amount of money that you would either lend to somebody and forget about? Or what's the amount where you have to come back and be like, hey, bro, remember that a couple of weeks ago?
For me?
I let you hold. Yeah. What's the amount of money?
Oh, if it's under $100, I'll forget about it all the time.
You'll forget about it. All right, cool. If it's 100, all right, so under 100.
If it's $100, bro, don't even.
You can, and low key, I would feel corny. Yeah. Be like, oh, come on, man. Like, you really, like, I would feel corny to ask for that back. All right, here's the last one. So y'all put in the comment section, what is the amount that you guys would be like, yo? Now this one is funny. What is the amount of money that your significant other expects you to let them know about if you spend it? Like, is there a limit? What's the statutory limit? Like, if obviously you can't just go nowhere and be like, you know what? I bought a car. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. No leases. You bet not sign no lease or nothing with extended payments.
I think the general consensus on that answer,
Right.
first of all, it depends on your household. That's first of all. For me, I think it has to be 500 or better. 500 or better.
500 or better.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta have a conversation before I do
because like 500 is starting to get on your table a little bit. 500 is like, that's like kind of rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, it's kind of rent a little bit, dog. But I agree. But you have children. I understand that yours is, when you have kids, it's a little different because now it's like, okay, we got stuff for kids. But like when you be single and you be moving around and you don't have kids, it's different. People don't be understanding that you got to sign that peace treaty. So sign the peace treaty. And one more super chat. If they are going to keep him at 4, then let him practice squad, and maybe a team that needs and wants him can pick him up. Beautifully blessed. We're not going to take that. We're not. He ain't going to the practice squad.
He ain't going no peace squad. But the thing is, he's one of those players that you can't cut. If you cut, because if you want to go to practice squad, you have to cut him. If you cut him, he's going to get claimed.
He is. All the Colorado people, just get used to it. You're gonna have to stay and hang around with us because we're not cutting him, but we are cutting this channel. With that being said, you never know when G. Bush might show up. I might bring in Tyvis, Powell, or whoever. I got Darren Smith. But as always, you're welcome to talk sports with us over here. If you need that fresh take on sports, G. Bush keeps the Clippers. Have a great rest of your evening, and go Browns. And I set you up, Tyvis. You're supposed to say go
Bucks.
There it is.
Daddy champs, baby. Go Bucks.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture. It's lifestyle. It's sports. And it's now the barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.